Sunday morning. Good morning, Sunday morning.
We're 40 Sunday mornings out from normal, and the world is not the same. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never came. Don't shine a light in my face.
Nancy gonna cut you a check too late. 2 years after your funeral's paid, 2 years after the grave, she'll be a little stronger for all of the dollars she saved. Watching you wake, watching you cling to your family slipping away. Watch her do nothing but pray. Watch her condemn the Republicans, take them to brunch and then shrug it away. Now watch us be outraged half of a day, then pick a new hero to face our leaders and think they could beat them, playing the game they played since Pelosi had real human blood in her veins. They're all one and the same, sold off stocks and they all maintain that the risk was benign and the virus was tame. Flash forward and 40 Sunday mornings fade, 250,000 people and it's wake and the cruise ship sailed today. So motherfucker, don't shine a light in my face. Wait.
Good morning, Sunday morning. Good morning,
Wait.
Sunday morning.
We're 40 Sunday mornings out from normal, and the world is not the same. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never came. Don't shine a light in my face. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never.
Hey, what about you, eyeballs? What did you see?
It couldn't have been me, sir. I was front row in my AOC t-shirt, foie gras sucking on a press release, sir. My head down, fourth shot, good little sheep, sir. Sit down, sweetie. The adults are gonna speak first. They trust the science and they're terrified of research. Here to thank our healthcare heroes, they've been feeding to the burnout, feet first. Until suddenly they dip mid-shift, take a header off a bridge. Such a shame, they were really such a sweet nurse. Now they'll never get the card and the cold slice of pizza meant to thank them for their teamwork. Now they'll never get the baggie full of checks mixed, which would be the one reward they'd see for the moms they had to intubate. And the countless cries of grief since we've been haunted by the specter of the C word. Now all the applause for our healthcare heroes rings a very hollow note because we played it out like Freebird. See, add the ones and zeros in our fragile checks and balances, or checks for all the wealthy who have such unholy talents that we think it's patriotic that we all got zero balances. And re-elect Pelosi so she'll face our toughest challenges, which is analogous to water for a drowning man. Nancy disregards our impoverished with a spiteful and dismissive little waving of her withered hand. Cause 500,000 freezing on the streets is Biden's winter plan. And I bet you swore they told you were voting for a different man. But really all you wanted was a different man. It didn't make a fucking difference if he finishes the previous inhabitant's agenda and starts auctioning protected land. Biden's born to leap at any war a donor's check demands. Turns out that you can't cure greed once it infects a man. Once they lose respect for human life and focus all their fucking efforts on the oil baron rescue plan. Honey, what are we to Hecuba or Hecuba to us that if she's starving we should give a damn? Why should we be moved to tears if someone isn't eating? We won't even recognize that food is essential to our being. It's just us and motherfucking Israel who will not guarantee that food's a basic human right. Because starvation is our favorite tool of genocide disguised as sanctioned democratic healing. That's me in the corner, losing my religion, gouging out my eyes and then dancing on the ceiling. Jesus fucking Christ, what a feeling.
Hey, what about you, eyeballs? What did you see?
Fate demanded I be singer of a new ballad about the candidate you wanted like a finger in your fruit salad, but were made to choke down. And never mind he didn't have supporters on the ground. Never mind a website that gave volunteers the runaround, and a platform of policy that followed Biden's lead and didn't make a fucking sound. And then he takes the crown. Now that's ascension into power by immaculate election, cause no one really wanted it and no one should have trusted it. But don't you try to question it, cause Joe is not a fan of questions. But Joe is a fan of pointing fingers right in people's faces. Or if they're not in public spaces, Joe will try to poke a finger everywhere I won't mention. Joe's soul is molded and beholden more to power than the list of fucking speakers at the DNC convention, who gave us all a show of keeping AOC at bay, just so everyone can say they tried to censor her dissension. But if you still believe the progressives we've elected give a shit if we're protected, there's a bridge I'd like to sell you in a parallel dimension. You know they're just tech savvier with media relations, propagandist Instagram and public obfuscation. Better suited to assure you that they're here to have a conversation. Better suited to assure you they aren't actively supporting your eviction and your slide into starvation. Better suited to assure you they can tweet about your needs and offer hope and motivation while you drift into the weeds, but they partnered with the moccasins and gators and the reeds. You damn sure get a portion of our meat. So, love me or leave me or mislead me to decree. Honey, you won't want to hear it, so I'll try to say it sweet. The squad are not your buddies, they are simply more discreet. The GOP will kill you on your feet. Dems and fake progressives do it in your sleep. Anyone can recognize a nation's needs and put it in a tweet. But coming from a leader in a seat of power really shows they know they're obsolete. GOP will kill you on your feet. Dems and fake progressives do it in your sleep. The squad are not your buddies, they are simply more discreet. You won't want to hear it, so I'll try to say it sweet.
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry.
My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually say? So I try to sit down with my wife and watch TV, but I just see propaganda elevating the police in the simplest of sitcom banter, and tiny little altars full of offerings to corporate masters in every well-planned wide pan shot of the name brand stocking up the pantry. Pull back one long tracking shot out to the garage to the logo on the Camry. Nice tight shot of the Camry. Close-up view of the Camry, slow pan up on the Camry, long slow zoom to the unmoving human who is up in the front with the tube pumping fumes to him straight from the back of the Camry. Ashamed he just could not provide for himself, let alone for his family. It's a blue pill mindset that spent 2020 making dance beats.
IndependentLeft.news.
Indie.
What's up, Indie?
Indie News Network.
Indie.
I got news from
from Independent Left.
IndependentLeft.news. IndependentLeft.news.
Indie Left Media.
Independent Left News.
Indie Left.
Independent Left News.
Independent Left Media.
Indie Media.
Indie Left.
Indie.
Indie Left News.
Indie Left.
Indie Left News.
Subscribe to Indie News Network.
We're world building. Your way of assisting, I feel like, is really cool.
IndependentLeft.news.
Independent Left News.
I'm a huge fan.
He created INN.
The founder of Independent News Network.
Indy is the founder of Indie News Network.
Thank you, IndependentLeft.news.
A huge thank you and shout out to Indie Left.
Everyone check out Indie Left News.
Hey, Indie Left.
IndependentLeft.news.
Indie.
Hi, Indy.
Indie Left. Indie Left News.
Indie News.
Independent Media.
Independent Left News has done an amazing job.
Hi, everybody. Oh, whoa, what's this? Oh, we're getting fancy. We got 3 people tonight. Hi, everybody. This is Indy. You can see my face. But if you're listening on podcast, hi, this is Indy. I've got 2 guys with me. I got this guy, Dr. Smokey.cloud. Check it out. He's got a new website. I probably need to reseat this thing in there. I see now inside box 1. And the other guy is Chris Legion, INN member, most censored guy on Twitter, apparently recently. My buddy, your buddy, everybody's buddy, Chris Legion. Welcome to How Did We Miss That? This is a fun show. We have fun here, as our brother Jesse always likes to say. We have fun here. I don't know why I can't move you around, Reef. I don't know where your cam is now. I think it might be this one.
It's there somewhere.
It's this one. There you go. Now you're moving over a little bit. Now we're cooking with gas. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So we got 3 people here. So this is going to be a little bit different tonight. This is great. I'm so excited to have Chris here. Seriously. So let me give Chris a little bit of an introduction. Chris, right now, he just got a new Twitter account, but you can find him on Substack, which he also just joined and published his first Substack on INN, IndieNewsNetwork.substack.com. Is that also on yours too, Chris? Are you muted?
Yeah, it's also on my own, so you can check that out as well. Cool. The links are in both my Twitter prescription. So go ahead.
Yep, they're also up here.
That's pretty much it.
So yeah, I've got them actually in his tag, so you can go chrislegion.substack.com, go follow him, subscribe for free, or you can support him and be a paying member also. I believe he's got that hooked up, so you can hook him up. So welcome everybody, like I say, to How Do We Miss That? How Do We Miss That is a show and podcast streaming live on Rockfin, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Odyssey, Telegram. Yeah, we're live on Telegram. We're live on Substack. We're live on IndieLeft.news also. We self-host. Sunday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's right now. 7 Pacific. Let's not forget our friends on the West Coast. And I don't know what time it is in England, but it's really early in the morning, I believe. So we're also available on all your favorite podcast platforms. Again, Spotify. We're doing video on Spotify. We're also on Amazon, Apple, Google Podcasts there also. If you say, hey, Alexa, go to the How Did We Miss That podcast, you'll be able to hear it there. It's co-hosted normally by me, Indy. I'm founder and editor of Indie Left News and Indie Media Today. I got Reef Breland sitting next to me still. He's over there. Okay, he's the host of Reefer After Dark and INN News on Indie News Network. And then we've also got Chris Legion, and we are all members. And Chris Legion, again, he's got his own channel on Chris Legion. He is a DJ. He does stories, and he is a spicy Twitter bro. And he's an INN member.
Making enemies wherever I go.
It's really cool to have you here again. So glad to have you commenting on this. Chris has been doing excellent commentary on media, on censorship, on narrative management, on foreign policy, on domestic policy. I think he comes kind of more out of the progressive lefty Bernie bro side, kind of like we did, but then evolved beyond that. We're not doing that anymore, and electoral politics kind of is shitty to us, and there's no hope for any of us in there right now. So it's like, all right, so what are we going to do? Mutual aid, help each other, and focus on local stuff and on electoral on ballot measures and that type. What we can actually affect. So again, welcome, Chris. We're all founding members, like I said, of Indie News Network, collaborative family of independent content creators. All the stories that we're going to cover were featured and included this week in Independent Left News between Sunday and Friday. It is impossible to keep up with the fire hose of developing news all week long. These are only 50, not 50, just like 4 or 5 pretty big stories out of the hundreds. 50 stories. Oh my God, we'd be here forever. That's a typo. Please make sure, share this link, like the stream, subscribe to our channels on all the platforms you watch and listen. We're everywhere. I've got them in the ticker, but I still always like to say thank you and shout out the volunteers and the people that actually make this show happen. Big Bad Crab, who's our creative director at INN. He does all our badass thumbnails. Jimmy Sunderland, that's Jimmy Saves World and Image Productions over on Twitch. Go follow her. She made our kick-ass trailer. We got Phantomos Phanto that does our video editing. Make sure that we've got clips every week to put up. And then we've got Fred Edward and Chris Gilman over on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, making sure that everybody can see our stuff over there as well. So appreciate everybody. Again, podcast is available. Go to anchor.fm/independent left news, and you can find the podcast on all the platforms. So, Chris, man, so you joined INN, I think it was right after we started the network, right at the end of December?
Yeah, it was like a month or two after the network started.
Yeah, you were one of the first people you and Angel, I remember you were like the first 2 people that we wanted to add. Because you hadn't actually like started doing streaming yet, if I remember correctly. And then you started going. And I was like, all right, dude, yeah, well, if you're gonna do that, let's go. And we got you.
Yeah, like right. Yeah, like I remember I think it was me, Lewis, and Angel. I think Lewis came like right after us, and then Robert Durden posted a video about us jumping on. I remember that, which was really cool. And yeah, it was great, man. It was great to be part of INN, you know. I've always wanted to be part of a network, and basically, you know, I always felt like it's strength in numbers, you know, and in independent media, we're all by ourselves. When you branch out by yourself, it's just really, really difficult. And you have so much against you. So there's strength in numbers. So it's great that we're together. We have a lot of different networks that are out there trying to make waves, but you know, we're growing, and you know, it's great to be part of this network.
And I usually say, "What's up to this dude over here? What's up, Brief? What have you been doing? What have you been up to all week, man?"
Working on soundboard stuff, doing INN news, AI art occasionally.
Yeah, art is fun.
All the finer things in life.
Nice.
You know?
Dr. Smokey. That's right. That's actually a link to Reef's Linktree. So you don't actually have to go to remember the link tr.ee. Just go to drsmokey.cloud and literally it'll go right to his Linktree. Love it.
He did that. I will let him take credit for that.
I will take credit for that whole thing. Well, it was when we were doing the Bongfather shop thing, and I think I bought like the bongfather.cloud and drsmokey.cloud because we were going to do something funny with that, or a funny weed show or something. And anyway, all right. So we've got some stories to get to. You can see we're also live on Rockfin. I've got the Rockfin chat up. Since it's just me saying hi, I'm going to turn that off. But we got Rockfin chat, so if you go over there, we can put Rockfin chats up, and we are monetized. You can go leave us a tip if you feel like it, and you're feeling generous, and you got some bucks. Not that we're pressuring anybody to do anything. We're good. But we really appreciate it, and it does take some money to run all this stuff. So again, I wanted to go through. Here's our thumbnail. Like I said, shout out, thank you to Big Mad Crab for putting this together. We've got a bunch of stories that we want to cover. NATO doing a preemptive strike, or would they really do that? Well, it's been discussed. You know, talking about prison health care and what's going on over at Starbucks, and of course some spin on Ukraine, which I know Chris has some opinions on unions, and I just thought that, you know, some of the topics tonight would really kind of work out for his wheelhouse too. So excited to get going here. Yeah. So again, let's talk about NATO and what's going on here. So this was in Covert Action magazine. I found the day before Halloween. NATO had plans for a preemptive strike on Russia using the cover of a French-led naval exercise in the Mediterranean. Again, this may not be that much of a surprise, but now we're actually like finding out the real truth. So revelations further underscore mendacity behind Biden administration claim that Russia's invasion of Ukraine was unprovoked. What a surprise, right? Again, I don't think that this is really much of a surprise, but it coming out in official writing, I don't see too many people talking about this. So Polaris 21, large-scale French naval exercise in the Mediterranean that took place November 18th to December 3rd, 21, off the island of Corsica between France and Italy. Right. Officially, aim of the training was to test the capabilities of the sea and air elements to face future wars, using the latest systems and naval vessels to develop tactics. Right. So
switch virtual webcam so we can actually read.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah, right. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Yeah, you can see it, but not really as well. Cool. Scenario of the exercise, which saw the participation of 23 ships, 1 submarine, 65 aircraft, 6,000 personnel from 6 NATO nations, including the U.S., was to enable the Allies maintain control of the Mediterranean in the event of a threat from the Russian Air Force and Navy. Well, that's kind of weird, right? Like, what's up with that? Journalists have come into possession of documents which detailed plans for the NATO coalition to use Polaris exercise to send a French carrier strike group to preemptively attack Russia in the case of a Russian invasion of Ukraine, which the U.S. and NATO were in the process of already provoking. UK signed an agreement with Ukraine that granted it access to naval bases in Ukraine that could be used to attack the Russian Federation. Holy crap. And when was this? This was before February 24th, guys.
Right. Okay.
All right. So, according to Slavisha Batko-Milichik, writing in Global Village Space, Polaris 21 exercise became for the Russian Federation a signal of the real preparation for NATO for the start of hostilities against it, as happened when a full-scale U.S.-NATO military operation to effect regime change in Libya, which is Operation Odyssey Dawn, followed 2 NATO air-sea exercises in 2010. Right, and this is the one over Libya, one of the jets. So again, covert action. I'm just ripping all the stuff. We're trying to get more visual, trying to make it a little bit more appealing. So, what is this Defender 21? Well, the Polaris 21 was carried out in conjunction with the U.S. Army and Europe Africa exercise Defender Europe 21. So now all of them are carrying out all these joint exercises together. This is like one of the largest exercises I remember them reporting on this in quite a long time. It was set up under the premise, again, that Russia was an aggressor power like the Nazis, though it was the Soviet Union that had stood up to the Nazi invasion, of course, in World War II. We knew that.
Yeah.
Right? But significantly, perhaps, headquarters of U.S. Army, Europe, Africa's command for the so-called Eastern Front is in Wiesbaden, Germany, which was headquarters for the Nazi Wehrkreis 12 during World War II. That's bad. It's Wehrkreis. That's awful.
Everything's going in reverse.
Right? So this is literally like all the different participants and exercises. This is just massive, okay? And this came from Janes.com. You have NATO and OTAN, and that's our friends with the she-bills like to put that logo up. But from the Russian point of view, its SMO in Ukraine was necessary in the face of a potential preemptive strike by NATO, combined with the fact that NATO wanted to use Kiev as a base for conducting a war against the Russian Federation. That I wasn't I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Ukraine has now very clearly evolved into a proxy war. I don't think anybody, even Congress admits that now. The West aimed to overthrow Putin's government, fitting the pattern of past military interventions against nationalist regimes in Libya, Ukraine, Syria, and Iraq. They're looking to set up Ukraine to be the next version of that, right? So what happened in Syria? Russia supported sovereignty and legitimate government of Assad, while U.S. and EU supported various jihadist groups like Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, actually ISIS even, which is in Arabic called Daesh, right? Which is all the terrorist groups. Yeah,
which according to mainstream press is a conspiracy theory.
Right. Right. So Wikipedia, and not WikiLeaks, but Wikipedia, the Intel one that's controlled by the Intel state, reported that 20, right? the government approved facts. They even reported that 26 NATO members participated in Defender Europe 21, a U.S. Army-led military exercise, including operations in the Baltics that extended into March. This is after the SMO had already begun. All right, this month, 14 NATO countries are participating in a follow-up exercise Steadfast Noon, designed to train flight crews to handle thermonuclear bombs.
Thermonuclear bombs, which we covered on INN News for sure.
Yeah.
Why?
That's coming out of Berlin, right?
Yep. So again, these exercises assume Putin's willingness to use nuclear weapons, even though Russia was put on high nuclear alert because of heavy U.S. and NATO provocation. U.S. leaders have been the ones way more frequently threatening nuclear war and talking about the fact that they're pushing us, that we're being pushed to the brink. No, they're pushing us to the brink.
Right.
Right. So in 2019, Trump admin withdrew from the INF treaty, okay, which put a cap on the deployment of U.S. and Russian strategic warheads. And there's the picture of Reagan and Gorby famously signing that. Right. This was a good example of the move away from diplomatic engagement by U.S. leaders waging a new Cold War that has already become hot. And it's scary.
It's like the amount of stupidity from people at the top of the military industrial complex who are, they're only looking at the profit part of it, but they really think that like this can't go to a hot war, or I don't know what they're thinking, or they're just totally out of control. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I have to turn you up, Reef, a little bit. No, I should.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't.
Here, I can
you're good.
pull this closer a little.
Oh yeah, that's much better. There you go.
How about that?
Yeah.
That work?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they just got their kill streaks in Call of Duty. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much what they're waiting for.
Yeah, just play so much Call of Duty. They think like it's real life.
Yeah, they think it's a tactical that they can do somehow limited nuclear warfare. That's what they think is possible.
I don't even know how to define that sentence.
Yes,
Spoopy!
but it's like,
Spoopy
what's
is
up,
in
Spoopies?
the house.
Yeah, we got
Spoopies. And we've got Screw Google. What's up, Screw Google? I remember you from HLM chats. Yeah, Restream Bot is actually relaying chats from the INN, from the Indie News Network channel over to Indie Left News and vice versa. Because we've got both of them hooked up, as well as relaying chats from Twitch. So you can see the chats that are coming over from Twitch or any other platform. Wow. Yes, thank you, Reef. Appreciate that. So that was our first story. That was a quick one. I like that. I like
beautiful.
The next
Nothing
story
make you feel good. A feel good story.
Yeah. We cover a lot of feel good stories over here.
Just the end of the world as we know it.
Yep, we're definitely
gonna die. Hey, okay, next story.
Yep. Okay, so there's nuclear war, and there was us prepping for nuclear war before we even before anything had. Now again, this was November, December of last year. This was a massive operation. There's another one happening now, and again, but Putin's the bad guy, right? Putin's the bad guy.
Yeah. This looks like the start to a friendly judo match.
Well, nobody else can see that yet, so let's show everybody what that friendly judo match looks like. Okay, and we're gonna talk about some of the spin on Ukraine. That's our Secretary of Defense, very famously Lloyd Austin, and that is the president, I believe, of NATO, and we're gonna talk about him in a few minutes. But we've got Oz in the house. We've got Gira Brown, Rick Solis, Kelly. Hi, everybody. How's fam? Good to see everybody. So much love out there. And we need it because the world is going to hell. So, Ukraine spin, what's going on? Patrick Lawrence. It's funny, Reef. We covered Patrick Lawrence last week, and he posted he did an original for Sheer Post, which is in the...
Not to be confused with Jennifer Lawrence or the other Lawrence that's the actor.
Martin. Yeah. No, not to be confused with either of those. But so this is in Consortium News, which is another Indie Media Award winner, like Sheer Post was. Patrick Lawrence very easily could have been, and they put their caveat disclaimer on this one. The views are solely those of the author. It may or may not reflect, but I have a feeling that in this case they actually do reflect the views of the editors and those of Consortium News, who are amazing, outstanding people. I've actually been DMing and messaging back and forth with Kathy Vogan, who's one of the editors and founders. She's fantastic. Go follow and support Consortium News if you can, please. They're one of the few independent, really uncorrupted outlets that's calling out what's going on with imperialism. So is Covert Action Magazine, the one before. They do outstanding work again since 1978. The new one again, Consortium News. Patrick Lawrence, War as Presentation. And this is really talking about narrative stuff. November 1st, this is the day after Halloween now. As the U.S. midterm elections approach, the gap between Western media's depiction of the war in Ukraine and the actual war waged on the ground appears to be widening more dramatically, right? I don't think that's surprising. There's... Oh, sorry, those are voters.
Wait.
Yeah, the kid.
Wait.
You see the kid?
Pokemon go to the polls.
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh God, she has infected our stream. Go away, Demon C. Go away, David. All right. Of course, we are urged that, and I believe Patrick has a British accent, but then he came over here. He lived here for a long time. His bio is on at the end. We're urged at every turn to dismiss everything Putin says is upside down to the truth. Right? Those of us who keep our heads while all about us. Others are losing theirs and blaming it on us, risk dismissal when we take the Russian president seriously. Never mind. It's simply time to dismiss those who dismiss. In his long interviews with Oliver Stone 5 years ago, Putin observed that it is impossible to work with the Americans because everything is held hostage by their election cycles. So true. Too bad so many among us are not capable of listening to the Russian leader on this point and learning from it something about how our post-democratic system malfunctions. Right? Domestic politics, what plays in Peoria and all that, determines foreign policy. This was Putin's point. And what electoral politics determines foreign policy becomes presentation, which is to say unserious, because all the good people of Peoria ever get from Washington polls are unserious presentations of events and policies that have little to do with reality. He's right, okay? America has started wars because of what political candidates think will play in Peoria at election time. I think we're seeing that play out right now. Countless lives have been sacrificed to the cause of this or that political candidate or party. Paul Pelosi, what? No, I didn't say that. As the late Robert Parry, who is the founder of Consortium News, and Gary Sick established, there is ample reason to suspect that the Reagan campaign conspired with Iran during the 1980 presidential campaign to delay the release of American hostages at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran until after the November 4th elections. Whatever happened between Reagan's people and the clerics governing Iran, the great communicator went on to present himself as the strongman savior of the hostages who were released on January 20th, 1981, of course, the day that Reagan was inaugurated after trouncing Jimmy Carter at the polls. This is all known history, right? And now we have the Ukraine case, and we need not bother with ample reason. It is an open and shut, evident at this point, that we witnessed two wars as the American armed forces of Ukraine face off with the Russian military. Let me read that again. It is open and shut evident at this point that we witnessed two wars as the armed forces of Ukraine face off with the Russian military. There is the presented war, the meta war, you might say, and there is the waged war, the war taking place on the ground. Nothing meta about it. Wow, that was a real Freudian slip. American armed forces of Ukraine. It might as well be. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, and they're actually, this is one of those pictures. This is from Wikimedia Commons, from Wikipedia, not WikiLeaks. This might even be WikiLeaks, but this is Putin and Oliver Stone sitting down. The Biden admin has been committed from the first to fighting the presented war, the war of appearances, because maintaining the public support for this dreadful folly is essential to keeping it going. And with the midterms near, the administration and the clerks in the liberal press serving it are pressing the presented war with the vigor of D-Day generals. Right? Stay with us, all you wavers of blue and yellow flags. Forget about inflation and what you have to pay for a gallon of gas or a box of Wheaties. We're getting this done. The tide is turned. The good, courageous, self-sacrificing Ukrainians are winning against those looting, war crime committing, village destroying, brutal, they are ever and always brutal, Russian forces. Don't lose heart. Support us on November 8th as we support Ukraine. Wow, that really does sound like a Democratic Party ad. Yeah, I just threw up in my mouth. Sorry for even having to say that.
Yeah,
that is the pitch. This is the presentation. Right. Parenthetically, I do not think this rubbish will make a whit's difference when those Americans
Rubbish.
foolish enough to go to the polls next week. Right. But the White House and Democratic field have to put this across because the Republicans are hammering them daily about the irrationality of their profligate commitment to proxy war that simply cannot be won on the ground. And then there, of course, is the Frontlines coverage ban, which Patrick goes into, and that gets into our friend Eva Bartlett, of course, who's famously in the Donbass. The presented war has been at variance with the waged war more or less since the Russian intervention began on February 24th. This is why Western correspondents, in any case apparently short on guts and integrity, are pleased enough to conform to the Kiev regime's ban on coverage from the front lines. What? Yes. There's nobody embedded with you. Well, also because they don't want to get the reporters killed because all the Ukrainian soldiers many of them are actually getting killed. So that's
I've actually seen it. I've seen a bunch of reporters that go there and they never go up to the front line. They're always in the back. And
well,
then
they're not allowed.
Like a couple of bombs go off and they run away.
Like Malcolm Schmantz.
Yeah, like little Dylan Dumb Bum Barnes.
Did he even go there? By and large, these correspondents report the presented war, but the gap between the presented war and the waged war now appears to be widening more dramatically. And here's where it really gets insane. It's an emperor has no clothes. On one hand, the Ukrainians' celebrated counteroffensives launched in August appear to be exhausted with no significant gains achieved. You also have Russia's call up of as many as 300,000 reservists and the appointment of Sergei Surovkin, who's a no-nonsense general that led Russia's campaign against the Islamic State in Syria as the overall commander of Ukraine operation. On the other hand, you have the midterms. Yeah. Since the summer, the Democrats' prospects on November 8th grow ever dimmer. Those prosecuting the presented war have grown even more incautious in their departures from the waged war. They're just being ridiculous. I could be wrong, right? But this latest phase in the presented war began October 12th, the midterms a month away, when the New York Times quoted Lloyd Austin saying that Ukraine's offensives will continue well into the winter and that Russia's recent attacks on Ukraine's infrastructure have fortified the West's unified resolve to continue supporting the Kiev regime. Holy shit.
Doesn't Russia really fight good during the winter? Is that like where they're...
That's like their thing?
That's their thing,
That's
right?
like that's kind of like their thing.
Kinda, yeah. So
good.
There's Jen Stoltenberg and Lloyd Austin. And here he continues, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
I expect that Ukraine will continue to do everything it can throughout the winter to regain its territory and to be effective on the battlefield. Okay? But we're going to do everything we can to make sure that they have what's required to be effective, meaning $100 billion and tons of weapons. Yep. But they're still losing. And those weapons are going to end up in God only knows whose hands.
Oh, wait until everything... Like, say we get out of this when it's over. Like, all that stuff is going on the black market, as it already is, though, but it's going to get really bad.
Yep. Wyatt Reed, too, by the way. Shout out to Wyatt Reed. Shout out to Georgia Leeson. Shout out to all of the reporters that are in the Donbass region that are trying to report from the ground and from the front lines to give us the story of what's really happening and call out the Nazis for being Nazis when they act like Nazis. But here's what's weird. Again, Patrick's pointing out that Austin's comments seem to me to mark an important point of departure from reality. Neither of the above quoted assertions is true according to all available evidence. That's bad. Ukraine's counteroffensives after its forces pushed through an open door in the Northeast have nothing to show for themselves and are in for a debilitating winter. The West's resolve, no secret to anyone, even the Times, looks increasingly wobbly, especially as the Democrats are about to lose Congress. Basically, they're going to have 8 weeks to spend a shitload of money, and then they're going to lose the ability to continue to fund this thing. But here's the thing about the presented war. What's said in its cause does not have to be factual or in any way true. It simply just has to be said over and over again. Fake news, right? And what do you mean? It's wrong, right? And this is how. On Sunday, the Times published a long piece by Andrew Kramer under the headline, "With Western Weapons, Ukraine is turning the tables in an artillery war." The subhead was even bolder. In the southern Kherson region, this is a quote from the New York Times, Ukraine now has the advantage in range and precision guidance of artillery, rockets, and drones erasing what had been a critical Russian asset. Yeah, okay. Wow, I said over my fourth morning coffee, turning the tables, erasing Russia's superiority in artillery. This is a lot of turning and erasing.
Drinking my latte.
Right?
Watching the, yeah.
The Kramer's report rests on interviews with a Ukrainian lieutenant, a first lieutenant, a major, and a Polish consultant sitting in Gdansk. All of them, fair to say, troops in the presented war. They are full of ballsy, Lemmy Adam remarks. We can reach them and they cannot reach us. One shot, one kill. It'll be Stalingrad in winter for them, which tells us precisely nothing. Kramer's assessments, all nothing more than the echoes of the above noted sources, are in this same line. There is no mistaking the shifting fortunes of the Southern Front. Ukraine now has that artillery superiority in the area. This firepower has tipped the balance in the South. Again, saying nothing. These statements are absolutely perpendicular to what one reads from sources other than Kramer's, and he should be ashamed to present them as reliable. And here's a doozy from the first lieutenant. We hear a lot of rumors that they're abandoning the first lines of defense. This is what people are saying. People are saying, a lot of people saying they're abandoning the first lines. God almighty, this is so pathetic. Kramer seems accurate here. Kramer. The first lieutenant is almost certainly hearing a lot of rumors to this effect, but that's it. I read a lot of reports that Russian forces, having evacuated many residents of Kherson, are sending in engineering brigades that are assiduously fortifying the city in preparation for whatever defense may be necessary in the coming months. They're also rebuilding buildings, from what I understand. I've seen pictures of them.
What seems accurate here?
I tell you, it's got. I don't know. It has got to the point where I read Kramer's pieces. I need a safe place where they have cookies, board games, and fluffy blankets, and no mainstream dailies, no NPR, no BBC. His work.
Kramer's, you say?
Yeah, Kramer.
No.
Kramer. George. His work is presented.
George.
His work is the presented war as it is fought, ever more fantastically as the midterms approach. Right? And of course, then we get into the Duran, Alexander Mercouris, who's the London-based podcaster. He spends an hour each evening analyzing the state of things on the ground in Ukraine, using all available sources with the due caution that this work requires. These sources are many-sided: Western mainstream, Western independent, Russian mainstream, Russian independent, Ukrainian of all kinds, other sources entirely. He's to be credited for the exceptional granularity of his reports and his often nuanced political analysis. As, for example, his recent take, his recent take on the collapse of the Ostopolitik tradition in German politics. Okay. Mercouris, astutely, I don't know, do you watch the Duran, Chris? You ever watch their stuff?
No, I really have to start though.
I think I've heard of them.
They're good. They were on Jimmy Dore pretty recently. They just got on Rockfin also. They're on Rumble now. But he astutely points out that the Russians
did like Hungry Like the Wolf and
Duran, yeah.
That's Duran, not the Duran. Not
the
Elvis,
Duran.
And not Elvis Duran, the morning show host either, but the Duran. And there's
confusing.
It's Alex Christoforous is the American host, and then Alexander Mercouris is so it's Alex and Alexander are the two hosts for the Duran. Good dudes. Really good analysis. I know they've been on with Hinkle as well as some other, again, Jimmy Dore. I'm pretty sure that T-Lav and some of the other folks have had them on as well. Again, they're pretty decent sized channel, but
yeah.
So he astutely points out again that the Russians are little concerned with the presented war and prosecute the waged war according to substantive, tactical, and strategic considerations alone, not what any given move will look like when Western media gets their hands on it.
Yeah,
in his view, right? He's just fighting a war. He just wants to eliminate the Nazis, and now he wants to get rid of the government there. I mean, that appears regime change is he does say that he wants to sit down and have peace talks with Zelensky, but Zelensky has been under orders so far to not until the other day.
I think at first he was ready to do the peace deal. I think now it's done. I think Russia's like, no, We're just gonna have to get rid of the regime.
I think so too. So in Mercouris's view, Ukrainian forces have nearly shot their bolt. The Western powers are running out of weapons to send them. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Russian forces are beginning to gradually advance once again, which is true, and the buildup of Russian troops and materiel, anyone who looks can see, many portend one or another kind of major assault, possibly a knockout blow in the coming months. And while Patrick has not reported directly on any of the questions raised here, the preponderance of the evidence presented leads me to conclude reports such as Mercouris's are far more accurate than what Western media offer, and that these media trade primarily in the propaganda of what the presented war is made. I think Moon of Alabama also falls into where Mercouris is going. They've done outstanding work analyzing the actual fronts and where the battles have taken place and where territory has been gained and lost. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to American media's reported from Ukraine once the midterms are over and there's nothing more for Democrats to win or lose. And that's what I wanted to report on today. And I'm going to do that after we're done here. At a certain point, the realities of the waged war will be too large and imposing to distort, obfuscate, or leave unreported. In the case of Russiagate, and again, we saw Russiagate ramped up today. Again, Tom Hartman. I saw Jimmy shared a tweet, and he said these people will never stop. All right. In the case of Russiagate, when the Times and all the media that ape it had finished all their lying and disinformation, and the House of Cards had collapsed, they tiptoed quietly out the side door. Not really, because they're still doing it. All right. Yeah. I see no chance of this in the Ukraine case. American media helped to make up Russiagate out of whole cloth. The Ukraine conflict is too real for all that. Yeah. And his expectation, again, the admin and these media will, post-elections, wage the presented war with less intensity, possibly bringing it at least slightly more in line with the waged war. They will have to think of something as gradually, but almost certainly, reality is going to catch up to them, and they can't make a war disappear that they're losing. Right. So this is what I wanted to point out today was that I missed yesterday at about 5:00, the Washington Post of all things. We got a message. I got a message on my phone popped up from the Washington Post through Apple News because I'm a sellout and I have an iPhone. Yes, I still have an iPhone. But Washington Post. Thank you. Did something crash?
No.
That was a sound bite. Okay. Washington. Thank you. Biden administration privately listen to this one. Biden administration privately encourages Zelensky to show Russia that Ukraine is open to negotiating to end the war.
Yeah. Secret.
How they know?
Guys, COVID's over. Ukraine's over. Time to move on to the next thing. And we know what that is. It's either going to be the superbug and or Taiwan. That's for 2023.
Yeah. Right, guys,
they had us the first half. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, once things start heating up on that side, then they'll slowly phase this out. So this way it doesn't look like they lost it. So they'll just stop talking about it. Media will do like a blackout on Ukraine, and they'll just be constantly talking about China and Taiwan. And that's
we're fucked.
That's pretty much what it boils down to. And
I like it better than anything else.
Yeah, we know, Nancy. We know. We know.
Shut up. Eat your ice cream.
Right? Yeah. Paul was saying that last week too, but now he's saying, "Get out of my house." Sorry.
Yeah, she really hammers at home though.
Too soon.
Oh.
Too soon.
Stop.
Too soon.
Hammer time.
So yeah, Patrick has also been censored off of Twitter, but he's on Patreon. His website is Patrick Lawrence, I believe it's .com. Definitely support him too. We featured one of his articles last week, another one this week. It's an excellent freelance independent journalist. Covers foreign policy, U.S., British stuff primarily. Outstanding. So now we have.
They missed a mark with the Nancy thing. You know, if they had just made him like also have a sickle with it, they could have blamed it all on the Russians. You know.
Oh, dude, yeah. They definitely should have done that. Blamed it all on the Russians. Yep. Well,
the Russians made the guy hit him with the hammer. Putin had a mind control device on him.
Thank you. Then there was the famous Joe meme of Jimmy Dore standing next to the garage door with the hammer.
That one's good.
Allegedly.
Right.
Paul forgot his safe word.
Allegedly.
Yep. That's right.
Right.
Okay, so we've got another story here, and you guys can see it. So now everybody else is going to too. Prison healthcare. Too expensive. Okay, so this is really gross. Watch this one. Holy crap. I'm like, guys, I have not heard anything about this, but prison healthcare, for those who can afford it, it's the Mayo Pete version.
Yeah.
Trigger warning. We're going to mention death by suicide and trauma from incarceration and medical neglect. Just as a warning. This was in Prism magazine. This was shared by our friends over at Newsdive. Shout out to Newsdive. They're a pretty good show over on Twitch. But just seeing this, okay. But this is kind of a shockingly sad. I can't believe that this is going on. Like, we're locking these people up and then not even giving them health care. Like, so when Ronald Marshall would hear about someone who was sick, he'd gather several days' worth of food from his prison locker box and bring it to the sick person to encourage them to get care. Incarcerated people often face having to choose between purchasing hygienic supplies or food at the commissary or visiting the infirmary and incurring copay costs. Copays! They pay fucking copays.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the brother doesn't have the $3 to pay for the medical copay, but he's sick and
$3
is 6 to 8 people full. It's a cluster.
Yeah,
and
$3 in prison's
fast.
like $300.
Seriously, like $3 is like gold. But, okay, despite how quickly health issues can compound and spread within prison walls, like many in the U.S., incarcerated people often seeking care because of out-of-pocket copays, constrain families with limited financial resources, and saddle them with medical debt. For many incarcerated people, that financial risk, on top of the risk of mistreatment and verbal abuse that often accompanies an infirmary visit, is more than enough to deter them from making a sick call. They get harassed for going to the doctor by the other prisoners. People struggle with not affording the copay. Says Cynthia Alvarado. She served 12 years in Pennsylvania for being wrongfully convicted of murder. That creates mental health issues because you're now depressed, you're now sad, and you now have more problems, right?
I do know in Rikers, they don't even send you to the infirmary. They just let you die in the cell.
Jesus.
It's brutal. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And more problems over not being able to afford something that should just be free while you're in the custody of their care. I mean, so in 1976, the Supreme Court ruled in Estelle v. Gamble that denying health care to an incarcerated individual is a violation of the Eighth Amendment, but that ruling says nothing about prohibiting copays for medical care. Prison health care is an insurance base, so any associated expenditures come out of the jurisdiction's budget unless initiated or authorized by the Department of Corrections. Anytime an incarcerated person seeks medical care, their commissary account is charged a fee or a copay. Holy shit. What if they don't even have a commissary account?
What's that?
What if they don't have a commissary account?
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of times families open them up for them if they have a family. But,
if they have, that's what I mean. If they don't have family, depending on the state or commonwealth, some services are excluded. As of May 2022, in Massachusetts, a $3 copay cannot be collected for diagnosis and treatment of contagious diseases and all mental health care. Of course, there's such a stigma from going for mental health. Exclusions vary, however, and it assumes that an incarcerated individual knows that these exclusions exist. Ultimately, advocates point to the copays levied against the incarcerated people as a significant barrier that prevents them from accessing the care they need until it's too late. Wow. And then there's the hidden costs of low copays. What I kept reading this and I could not believe the shit that I was learning. So again, as of it's bad. As of this February, all federal prisons in 40 states charge incarcerated people a copay when they initiate medical care. The average cost falls around $2, which is a deceptively low price tag that obscures the financial scarcity, like you said, that many incarcerated people and their families live with. Average prison wages tend to be low. According to a report by ACLU, incarcerated people earn between 13 and 52 cents per hour, and in 7 states, they aren't paid at all for most work assignments.
Yeah, a lot of the southern states don't even pay them.
Yep.
A lot of
Additionally,
red states.
Right. Additionally, they're taxed up to 80% of those wages for room and board, court costs, restitution, and other fees like building and sustaining prisons. Holy shit. They have to pay the money that we're paying them to do work to build and sustain more prisons.
Yeah.
Also, in some states, like
money.
you said, not everything is covered by copays. Medications and additional treatment may incur other fees, all of which can quickly pile up, especially for conditions that require regular visits. This means that incarcerated people often require an entire month's pay to afford covering a single copay. And then, in addition to medical care, they might have to choose between using their hard-earned money to seek care or pay for supplies and privileges, such as pens and paper, postage to send letters to loved ones, or paying for a phone call to speak with their kids. Gross. Like, again, we live in it's a punitive system, not a rehabilitative system. Incarcerated people aren't allowed to keep basic over-the-counter resources like NSAIDs or cold medication. So something as simple as needing an aspirin for headache means incurring a copay for going to the doctor. You don't think about this shit because you're not in prison. Alvarado also explained that to deal with her acid reflux or other ailments while she was incarcerated was $5 to make a sick call, and then $5 for each medication needed to treat it. You could buy some at the commissary, like antihistamines, but that was often extremely expensive too.
That's just like straight out of CVS and Walgreens, man.
Right. The
welcome to the gulag.
Yeah. But they're in prison. Like we're locking them up and not giving them the ability to make the income to pay this. The cost to treat any chronic conditions would quickly pile up. Eventually, she just learned to deal with the impacts on her health rather than risk a large amount of outstanding debt to be paid upon her release.
That's just to drain out their commissary. That's exactly what that shit is.
Yeah.
And in many cases,
Bob Barker's going to make more on the flip-flops.
In many states, care is provided even if the person has inadequate funding, but that amount gets charged to an incarcerated person's account, even if it leaves them in the negative. This means that incarcerated individuals must rely on an outside network, such as family members, to provide them the necessary funds, or go into debt, which can follow them upon release, or completely forego care, which is what most of them do. It says, while some incarcerated people have outside support systems and can keep money in their accounts, it's not an option available for everyone. Again, I don't know what the percentages are, but Maria Gellner, who's from PA State Policy Director for Families Against Mandatory Minimums, says it's not only a financial burden, but an emotional one for both incarcerated people and the families who support them. Well, that makes sense. Most people in prison don't come from wealthy backgrounds, so we're compounding a socioeconomic issue. Their families are subsidizing this. They also have the added stress of worrying about the lack of proper care, whether they can afford to subsidize it. It's money that they need. Yeah. Again, everybody needs money. We're all freaking broke right now. A literature review from 2020 details different types of debt that a formerly incarcerated person holds and what impacts it might have, including medical debt, which one study found formerly incarcerated women are particularly impacted by. Well, that makes sense, Scott. For some reason, men tend to visit the doctor less, and women, because of menstrual cycles, all kinds of stuff, they tend to need doctors more frequently. The harsh reality. Go ahead.
Yeah, the few prisons and jails I worked at, the few of the women ones. Yeah, they're very like big on the medical part. So I would presume that's where all the money is going, like where they want to drain it out of.
I don't know who's needs. Being yes to not be chosen as moderator. All good, man. Appreciate that. So harsh reality is that many people, especially those serving a life sentence, will not be released from prison alive. So who pays that debt in the end? I mean, their heirs, if there are any. Otherwise, it just gets written off, I guess, as bad debt for the state. I don't really know. Reports of COVID incidents.
So, I mean,
go ahead.
Well, keep in mind, the prisons are all making profit.
Well, not all of them, and not the ones not the federally owned ones. I don't believe they're not for-profit prisons, are they?
No, but the other ones, and I think even some of the federal ones, depending on which state, like are done through private contractors.
So, they're not federal; it's private, but they get paid through federal program. Federal
Right.
contract. Yeah, that's some like there's a bunch of them now. They're all doing it because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And
Because it's cheaper and it lets you do more quotas that way. It's like you have to like, because it's a private system, you're like, they're requiring the state to push in more into that, like more inmates.
Yeah, there's a contract. So you have a contract, and you have to incarcerate a certain amount of inmates per year or some shit like that.
Right, to keep that like contract available, essentially.
Right. No, so basically, like, if the government doesn't keep it filled, then they get charged the extra charge to the government. So it incentivizes the government to actually make sure that they keep the prison full.
Yep.
And it goes by like per inmate.
Yep.
Percent of inmates.
They're paying by bed per bed.
I mean, and that's at county level. That's at federal level. That's at like.
Yeah.
But again, there still are federal prisons that are run as not for profit, that are run as. But again, that doesn't mean not for money. That means they have to spend whatever they take in and whatever they're allocated, and they figure out ways to spend that. No, not allegedly. They are required by law to spend every dollar they take in, whether that is wasting it on
wink.
Whether that is wasting it on
nudge.
toilet paper or whatever, extra toilet paper.
Right.
But that's not a waste. They'll use that.
Couple of bottle of whiskeys for the warden.
Well,
right.
Sure.
I do know that I did talk to like one corrections officer in like one prison, and he was telling me that a lot of times they don't like private corporations coming in because what they do is they give them like a low price through contracts and through deals, and then as time goes by, they really shoot up the prices. So they like to stay government owned. They don't want to like go private and anything.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So again, when we get into COVID, reports of COVID incidents suggest that the risk of contracting COVID was higher in prisons than the rest of the U.S. population, and the death rate 2.3 times higher for incarcerated people. Wow. Compared to general public. Again, early in the pandemic, many states suspended collection of copays to curb the spread of the disease, although this practice has since resumed in many states. With the rise of long COVID and complications worldwide, it remains to be seen how this might impact the short and long-term health of those who are incarcerated, because they're all living in close conditions that are all open. I mean, the ability to spread between, other than, look, we live in private residences. For us to give it to our neighbor is a whole lot more difficult than for them to give it to their neighbor. Even before COVID, okay, one report surveying incarcerated people in 2016 suggests that almost 20% of people in state prisons report ever having had an infectious disease, and 51% ever having had a chronic condition. Wow. Right? That's like mostly breathing stuff, I would guess, but particularly for those with chronic conditions, both the cost of seeking care and the cost of not being able to seek care can add up to devastating results. I can't even imagine what like a diabetic or someone who has to be on dialysis would do in prison. Again, these risks become even higher for marginalized people in carceral facilities who tend to be Black, Latinx, and other people of color, often in poorer health than the general population, and part of a rapidly aging population that needs more specialized care. Right. Which means there's less money available for the healthier population. Then for many advocates, the removal of medical copays in prison is about more than affected individuals. It's about moving toward equity and justice within the carceral system. Yes, I mean, look, we're locking these people up. The least we can do is give them health care. The thing is that the argument, I think, from many people is that they would get better health care in prison than they do out of prison. So that's almost an incentive to commit crime, to go to prison to get health care at that point.
Yeah.
Right? But you've got officials claiming that prison medical care copays are meant to discourage people from seeking what they call unnecessary and wasteful health care, as well as teach them how to budget. Yeah, right. But the ultimate impact of this condescending assumption is that incarcerated people are discouraged from seeking care. Some states have recognized these challenges, and advocates are doing what they can to abolish copays. Yes. Illinois eliminated its $5 medical copay in 2019, which became effective right before start of COVID, which is perfect. The overlap of pandemic's onset and elimination of copays somewhat obscures the true impact on the prison population, but 2018 surveys conducted by the John Howard Association, which is a prison oversight org that helped with the effort to abolish copays, Right? They found that over 60% of people who were incarcerated avoided seeking care because of the copay. I mean, again, you've got them locked up already. You want to try to get them out and rehabilitate them. You want to get them healthy. Not having a copay definitely makes a difference in people's willingness to seek medical care. Okay, while Pennsylvania paused the collection of copays during early stages of the pandemic for anyone with flu-like symptoms, staffing problems caused medical lines to increase, and the state reinstituted the copay to help reduce staffing issues because they didn't want to pay more people to be on staff. Holy shit.
Yeah, just stay in your cells.
Okay.
Sweat it out.
Yeah, but this reduction in staffing lines, of course, comes at a human cost, according to Anton Andrew, who works with the Pennsylvania Prison Society as their education advocacy fellow. People are getting sick and have injuries that are going without treatment, that are getting more severe until they're in a critical situation and ultimately are taken to the infirmary by the department just to cave in and cough up the copay. When they had just paid earlier, they wouldn't have gotten that bad.
So it's basically the U.S. healthcare system right now everywhere.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but this is by force, essentially.
Yeah. Copay collection in Pennsylvania indefinitely paused at the end of May 2021, but there are two problems. Unless legislation passes to rescind them permanently, it could mean future harm if they resume, and inconsistency over whether there are copays can cause extreme confusion. That's the other big thing. Again, for particularly vulnerable populations like women and those with a uterus, delaying care because they can't afford it can be extremely harmful. This is where it really gets rough. Despite a predominantly male prison population, the number of women who are incarcerated has risen over 740% between 1980 and 2019. Regular mammograms or pap smears can detect cancer with enough time to prevent it from becoming a chronic issue or even fatal. Still, as time between regular gynecological screenings grows longer, lack of money only serves as a deterrent to seeking timely care. She explained that women might experience something abnormal, such as bleeding, but it's ultimately ignored until it's too late, and all too often, along with the trauma of a forced hysterectomy, patients must take hormone pills for the rest of their lives. If they would have gotten the screening sooner, or they hadn't had the $5 copay, we would have treated the cancer, or even found out that there was some there. But in the end, the result is the hysterectomy that women are getting so often in prison that nobody's talking about.
Now, is that the gold plan or the silver plan? Which one is that?
I think that's the bronze. I think it might be the bronze plan.
The rust plan.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Marshall was released last October after serving 23 years of a robbery sentence in different Louisiana prisons, and now she's involved in the writing and advocacy of a bill that directly addresses copays. Louisiana notably has the highest percentage of incarcerated individuals in the U.S., so reform cannot come soon enough. Despite support from those in power to completely abolish copays in Louisiana prisons, the bill stalled in committee in March. Fucking politicians. The main area of concern is the same one repeatedly heard. Without a copay, people would abuse the healthcare system and seek wasteful care. Because people should not get wasteful healthcare. Instead of
it's a staple of America, man.
Oh my God.
Wasteful healthcare.
Instead of full elimination, what's proposed now is that anyone with more than $200 in their account, copays are reduced from $3 to $2. Thanks. For anyone with an account balance of under $200, the copay is automatically completely removed. And while this may reduce the chances of going into medical debt while incarcerated, what that's going to do is they're going to keep their balance below $200. And it's not nearly enough. All right. The longer you're in prison, the more you begin to lose your support system. Family dies off. Right. Loved ones die off. You're there alone. You have men who've been incarcerated 30 to 40 years. They don't have anyone sending them anything.
Yep.
So again, the consequences of completely foregoing or receiving inadequate care is only magnified when a person is incarcerated. Again, total monstrous shit. Individuals can develop complicated chronic issues that could otherwise have been prevented, and that affects the quality of life. And transmissible diseases and viruses like TB and HIV are known to spread quickly in prisons, of course.
Yep.
So both Marshall and Alvarado have seen people permanently affected by the poor medical care that they received. Alvarado recalls a woman who's now paralyzed because of a botched hysterectomy. Marshall remembers a man who repeatedly sought relief for chronic headaches and ultimately suffered a burst aneurysm. While he survived, Marshall said he's different now. These guys are still walking the earth, but their quality of life isn't the same as a result of the medical care they received while incarcerated. Again, nobody's expecting them to get gold level package care, but they are supposed to get some. Alvarado was released in March 2020, still has health issues from being incarcerated. Physically, stomach issues she couldn't afford to treat persist to this day. Emotionally, the women who died because of untreated medical conditions or by suicide have also stayed with her. She said if she sees girls alive at 5 and then by 6 they hang themselves because of mental health issues, or seeing the comrades die because of denied medical treatment, I have to live with all that stuff. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's fucked.
All these advocates, man, they deal with such pain and trauma all the time. Medical copays in prison are only one problem in the prison healthcare system, but advocates say they speak to the larger issue of how incarcerated people need to be treated as people. Yes, sometimes healthcare may be the only human attention a person has received in an unfathomable amount of time. This is why Alvarado says she did janitorial work at the infirmary while incarcerated. Receiving health care is much more than just treating physical or mental ailments. Yeah. She wanted to work in the infirmary because she knew that there were a lot of aging lifers in that area. They were already being neglected, so I figured I could offer them some type of relief while I was cleaning the rooms or assisting them in some ways that I could, just being another human. And again, yeah, that's it. Despite everything she witnessed and what prison stripped her of, both literally and figuratively, she refused to give up completely, and it's why she's so willing to speak about these issues today. Don't say I hope, she said I will, because that makes you stronger, and they will not win. I mean, the resolve on that woman is remarkable. Just holy crap. But co-pays for prisoners, I did not know that they were charging people that we were locking up for the shitty health care that we weren't giving them. I mean, holy crap.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's like, boy, that's what prisons are, man. Quickly.
Yes, that did escalate.
That really got. Yep. I mean, they're there. They're not there for the prisoners. They're there to make money.
You know what? This would be no better under a Trump regime.
No.
We'll say that right now. We are not fans of Donald Trump either. He would be no better in this case.
This is. I mean, eventually all prisons are going to be privatized, but it's just
that's their goal.
Bad. Yeah. So I mean, it's for profit. Through contracts, whether it's federal, but it's going to be bad. I mean, but what are you going to say? I mean, how long are we going to last anyway? So,
well,
at least till 30-35.
Well, according to Joe Biden,
electric cars,
GM's going electric by 30-35. According to is that 30335? Is that what that is? We're texting
30335.
Yeah.
30335. Yeah, there you go. So okay, 11. All right, we got that was what the second. That was like the third story, I think. That might even be the second one. All right, so we got Starbucks. These are quick ones. Starbucks on strike. What? And you see a little something over there that Bedbugs. Holy shit.
Cucaracha.
The Bedbugs were the last straw for us Starbucks workers at New York City Roastery strike against unsafe work conditions. They've been striking now. Again, I don't know if this has been resolved yet. This was almost a week ago now. October 30th in Left Voice. Shout out to Left Voice. Indie Media Award honoree, another one. We got a lot of Indie Media Award people this week. Okay, workers at New York City Starbucks Reserve in the Meatpacking District been on strike since the beginning of last week against unsafe work conditions and the multi-billion-dollar corporation's refusal to bargain in good faith with the union for first contract. Of course, we know this. Striking workers note how managers at one of their flagship stores refuse to address work conditions that are proving to be health hazards.
Yeah.
The store had a recent outbreak of bed bugs in the break room. So gross. And there's been black mold in the ice machine. for months. Why?
Yeah.
Two workers who spoke with Left Voice under conditions of anonymity described how management instructed them to discard any ice with mold in it and carry on without addressing the root of the problem.
Yeah.
When the bedbug infestation happened, workers were asked to remove their belongings from the break room, but were not told why. It was only days later they learned of the bedbug infestation, which means that the fumigation and cleaning for which workers believe were substandard. But beyond that, anything that they brought out could have already been infected, and they could have brought it home.
Yeah. To their kids and their families.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what's the worst part about these managers is that just for a little bit of extra power over their employees, right? Just for that little extra power, they sell out. They treat their employees like shit, and it's for a little tiny power, and then they wind up usually getting fired anyway and getting replaced with another manager. It's like they don't even get moved up within the company. So it's like they do all this ass kissing for nothing, and they fuck everyone over, and this is what you get
for $2 an hour more than the hourly wage. You know,
they get like $1 more. Like it's like, dude, why are you selling out for? What the hell's wrong with you, bro?
What the fuck is that from the Roastery? Gross.
Oh damn, that's pretty nasty.
One worker, Laura Garza, says, "I myself have gotten sick from attempting to clean the mold from the ice machine without proper training, and the bed bugs were just the last straw from us. We cannot risk bringing that home." Workers United, the union rep of the workers, filed an OSHA complaint against the facility, as well as a national unfair labor practice charge with the NLRB over the failure to bargain, and listed the Roastery in 151 other locations where Starbucks has refused to begin bargaining.
NLRB is such a waste of an organization. They don't do shit.
And it's the only organization at all that we have even slightly to hold these guys accountable.
There's only one.
Right?
You know?
Well, other than Congress and the White House, but we all know what they're doing. Workers at this Starbucks Reserve Roastery, many of whom are young queer women, okay, were the first Starbucks shop in New York City to unionize, winning their union election on April 1st of this year, the same day, funny enough, as the Amazon one, but that was very much overshadowed, or the day after. They are one of 12 Starbucks locations to have unionized in downstate New York, one of 7 in the city. Nationally, over 250 have elected to unionize, with over 100 workers at this location alone. This is one of the bigger shops to have unionized nationally. And that's one of the things that I was talking about is, why is it so much more difficult to unionize Amazon facilities? Is because of the massive size and number of workers there, and to go after a smaller Starbucks. But 100 people working at a Starbucks voting to unionize, that's not little.
Right.
And again, although it's been months since they won their elections, workers at the Roastery, like other unionized stores across the country, still don't have a first contract, as Starbucks refuses to bargain in good faith with workers while continuing their union busting practices.
Right.
They're facing,
and then also like another thing I just wanted to mention real quick. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go.
But like Starbucks and like Amazon also is that usually people in it seems to me, and this is just my opinion, is that they seem to know more about unions than people in Amazon. I don't think they're that really knowledgeable about what unions are and what they stand for, because when I did the union drive of mine, when I did the union drive at my place, like people just didn't know what it was, and then someone just said union's bad, and they were like, "Oh yeah, union's bad," and so that's how it usually worked.
Yep. Unions corrupt. You got corrupt leadership, and it's a top-down structure. There again, we much prefer to see workers own the means of production completely, and co-op and have ownership. But the company,
I talked to one employee. He's like, "I hate unions because I threatened to beat up my manager, and they still fired me. My union didn't protect me." I was like, "You threatened to beat up your manager, dude."
Manager, right? That's like stop breaking the law, asshole.
Right. So maybe union couldn't defend you for doing that. I'm sorry, buddy, but you have to fucking hate unions for that. So,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Because the brotherhood broke, right? But there again, over 300 unfair labor practices already. NLRB offices around the country have issued Starbucks over 35 official complaints. That's like a speeding ticket, all right, citing it for coercing, threatening, firing employees over union activities. We've covered that plenty. Withholding wage increases and benefits from unionizing stores, which we've also covered.
Right.
Since the wave of unionization at the coffee giant began, they've fired over 100 workers who are organizing for a union, on top of closing locations entirely once they vote to unionize. Right. So although the store has Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what an LRB does? They did like what the squad does. They send like the companies like a strongly worded letter. That's pretty much what they do. Yeah, that's it.
Well, and they may issue a fine, but it's still peanuts in comparison to what Starbucks quarterly earnings are.
Oh yeah, they pay right off. Okay,
right. Although the store has over 100 workers, not everyone's out on the picket lines, with many fearing retaliation from management. Of course, at the Roastery and the Grocery, as Screw Google very cleverly put, every other store that's unionized or seeking a path towards unionization, management has worked overtime to maintain an air of fear, often even depriving workers of knowledge of their rights, that they even have a union. Oh my goodness. But since the strike began at the Roastery, workers have been picketing outside the facility every day, forcing it to close early the last few evenings. Workers at the picket, and screw anybody, I'm sorry, if you're crossing the picket line while your fellow workers, I get that you got to earn a check. You know, you're part of the union. The union should be hooking you up, at least with some kind of strike pay. Okay? But you can't cross that line. Workers at the picket also spoke about how management was bringing in scabs from the yet-to-open Empire State Building location to work at the store. And again, screw you, scabs. Workers at Starbucks.
It's not like right to work works like that. So it's like people are automatically in union, but you don't have to be in it or some shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't help cross the picket line.
Yeah. You know, each worker makes hundreds of dollars worth of beverages every hour for Starbucks, creating value far beyond what they're compensated for. The company's massive profits are a direct product of the workers' labor. For striking workers, it's essential to expand, mobilize, use this power of the shop floor to fight, not just for safe conditions, but against every injustice suffered under Starbucks management and beyond. Little Buzz Lightyear there.
Well, good for Starbucks, man. At least they're doing it, you know.
Good for those workers.
They're trying
with the Starbucks, with the Starbucks folks. You know, again, we try to showcase the good work that they're doing and the fight that they're taking, because they're literally taking on one of the most powerful companies in the world, with one of the biggest union busters that tried to run for president, and he got ratioed so hard off of Twitter it literally scared him away from running for president.
Jeffrey Bezos.
No, this is Howard Schultz. But yeah, Bezos wouldn't run for president.
I think Bezos may, man. One day, man.
Oh,
I
maybe.
think Musk will run.
I could see Musk, but Bezos doesn't have a public personality, really, like a public profile nearly high enough. Like people know his name and they know Amazon, but like nobody had ever really heard him speak until like a year ago or so, I think. Really.
Yeah.
Unless you were like some corporate board member or executive. Okay. We have one more Starbucks story, and I think this might be it.
Uno más?
More Starbucks union busting, and we just talked about it, and we have even more evidence. The NLRB says that Howard Schultz's comment to a pro-union worker was illegal. And again, this is a double.
That hurt like a butt cheek on.
Another strongly worded letter coming.
Yep. A double Indie Media Award winner. This is Sharon Zhang of Truthout. Truthout Indie Media Award winner because they're awesome and they're a great outlet. And then Sharon herself is an outstanding writer who has been covering labor, specifically the Starbucks and Amazon stuff, for a while. And she's got great takes. And one of these days, I'm hoping to have the opportunity to interview her and have a conversation with her about how she picked stories and what her methodology is and kind of how she feels about all of this. Because you can kind of see it in her writing, but again, I just such a big admirer. There are so few writers and so few journalists that stay on this beat, and I give them credit. Again, Luis Felice Leon over at Labor Notes, and Mike Elk over at Payday Report. There are a few, not very many. Jonah Furman over at Who Gets the Bird, also. But again, here we've got Howard Schultz's suggestion to a pro-union worker earlier this year that they should work somewhere else constituted an illegal threat, according to NLRB. During a meeting between Howard and Long Beach, California workers in April, he told a pro-union worker, Madison Hall, "I'm sensing a lot of anger from you about Starbucks." She'd been the leader of a union effort at a Long Beach store. Yeah, if you hate Starbucks so much, why don't you work somewhere else? He continued.
She later did resign. It had been Schultz's first week returning as CEO of Starbucks, a move the company made specifically so that he could lead their union busting campaign, which was the claim of the union.
Yeah, that's what the union busters. I'm sorry, that the union busters do is when they come in, they tell all the management and the CEOs like that every worker that's for the union is anti-company. They hate the company, so that's why it makes sense why he said that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So again, the CEO threatened employees with discharge by inviting employees to quit their employment because they engaged in union and/or protected concerted activities, per Bloomberg. Well, that's a good thing. But what are they going to do? According to the union, prior to the remark, Schultz had asked workers how he could help restore the trust in the company, to which she said the company could lighten up on and be more transparent about its anti-union campaign. Both the worker was immediately silenced and told not to bring the union movement. Okay, the union said in a press release, Schultz apologized on behalf of the employee to the rest of the group. We're fighting to make Starbucks a better company and a better place to work. We want to bargain with the company as equals and have a real voice. Josie Serrano, Long Beach barista, said in a statement, Howard Schultz is not good for Starbucks. Threatening a barista for simply wanting to make Starbucks better is not only absurdly inappropriate, but downright childish and mean. Well, yeah, that's what billionaires do. Okay. The company had denied wrongdoing, saying that Schultz made the comments to keep the meeting on topic. Okay. Starbucks Workers United attorney Gabe Frumkin, that's a funny last name, Frumkin, told Bloomberg that the interaction showed not just Hall, but all the employees present at the company, that the company could retaliate against them if they organize a union. His comment shows that they can either change the terms of your work relationship or end it entirely based on the fact that a worker has voiced support for that union. This is the second labor charge that the NLRB has filed in response to his actions. In August, of course, we know that the NLRB, and I think we covered this, they charged him with breaking labor laws when he promised wage raises for non-unionized employees only.
Yep, we covered that.
Yes, we did. According to the union, again, the NLRB has issued 37 complaints alleging over 800 labor law violations by Starbucks. This is a publicly traded company.
They do that secretly. They pull them off to the side, the employees, and do that.
It's unreal. Yeah. Workers, again, successfully unionized over 250 stores. Their campaign appears to be entering a new phase as they begin to sit down. Now, I know that the company has agreed now to start sitting down with them, but what did they do? They agreed, and then they showed up 45 minutes late, got there, got up, and walked out of the meeting without saying a goddamn word. To say that they showed up, but they didn't actually say or do anything. The company has been extremely resistant to making progress, such, again, has walked away from bargaining meetings across multiple stores just after minutes in the room, workers say.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I just said that. How about that? Like I said,
yeah,
I had a quick one.
Bargaining in good faith is bullshit. They don't even listen to that.
That is my portion. Wow, which is right on point. Hour 18. See that? Indy's good.
Not
right? Even, because if you actually take out the first 5 or 6 minutes of intro, hi everybody, whatever, theme song.
Hi everybody.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. All right, so cool, man.
Yeah.
That was our news stories and fun portion. Again, solidarity to Starbucks workers with Starbucks workers. Do you get and giving home. Now, Chris, you are gonna want to pin Reef on your side. Unpin me and pin Reef now on your Zoom. And I'm gonna have to flip something after we do this, and we'll see how this goes. We're gonna go to boats right now because I think we're good with that. Yeah.
And I watch mindless shit, boats that smash into other boats.
It'll go there, and now we're gonna go here. And now we're gonna go and pin the Reefer Man.
The Reef.
What's up, man?
All right. Now we got the Reef Show. All right, Chrissy and me are up top. You see all his tabs up there, which you never really see because I usually block them out.
Whatever.
Can I maximize this any more than this or no? I guess not.
Yes. Probably. There's probably a way.
There's always a way.
Yeah, but then you'd lose us. So I don't think you'd see us if we do that.
Oh, you mean like your
I
cameras?
have to change virtual webcam. Yeah, here. Full bird. Hey, now you can see Indy. Now I'm talking over here next to Chris. Okay.
Isn't that nice?
Okay, we got this worked out, folks. All right, we're still
Yeah.
logistically figuring out how to do boats with 3 people. But yes, Rick, boats smash boats. I love it. He's doing it in emoji in the chat. That's badass.
Where is?
Yes, remember when Schultz ran for president pretending to be a progressive? That's right, Kelly M. What you got?
Yep.
That's a nice grinder.
Bloomberg was the fun part to me.
Kitchen
Do you
gadgets.
see where you're buying it from?
Yeah.
Home Depot.
Funniest part about the debates is when Bloomberg went in.
Okay, I don't want to get suspended here for that.
I don't think that is. It's on TikTok all the time. You wouldn't think so,
but we're not on TikTok.
Whatever. Close enough. Happy Halloween. Free Britney.
Free Britney. Free the other Britney.
This is pretty fucked up.
Brittany, I believe is hers, but maybe not. Maybe it's Ney. Reiner. That is pretty fucked up in a orange jumpsuit. Damn, that goes hard.
These are the crystals I charged earlier.
Oh,
these right here.
That's version 2 of the Indie Media Awards.
That'd be great, dude. I want one then. Yeah, dude. That'd be great.
That was Kelly, a grinder at Home Depot under kitchen utensils. That is correct.
As it was. They're cool. They're cool now. They're like your cool uncle. They'll build you a house. Are either of you old enough to remember these papers with the wire in them?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. That's like old magazine stuff. They would have the wire in it all the time.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
What were they? Randy's wired papers.
Yep.
Randy's.
The Randy's.
What is the point of the wire?
Randy likes cheese.
Can someone explain in chat?
It's to hold the shape.
Is it? That makes sense, I guess.
Straight. It's to keep the paper from folding up and crinkling.
That's
keep
smart.
It flatted out. Smoothed out.
That's smart.
Randy.
For tobacco use only, and I love the little the fucking the
Babs. It's Babs.
You know?
I love her.
Yep.
She's out.
Smoke weed every day.
Yes, that's
I
right.
come from a time when you had to really look for that shit back in the
I
days.
know, right? You got to go to the flea market. You got to find the right guy.
I had to go to Manhattan just to look for those damn things.
Right?
Of course, you went to Manhattan to find it. Of course, it'd be there.
We went to the village.
Yep. When people ask me why I'm always smoking weed, without my cookies, I'm just a monster.
Yeah.
I love that Cookie Monster meme.
Without my cookies, I'm just an asshole. So I agree.
Can one of you explain what the fuck is happening with this dude?
I know it ain't just me, but when you roll a blunt and you break the weed up and you drop a piece of weed, you be on the ground for a whole motherfucking 5 minutes. Nigga, it's just a piece of weed. You acting like losing that piece of weed, you ain't gonna get high. Nigga, if you don't roll the fucking blunt, god damn it, taking all long and shit. Hell.
What is
What's going
that?
on with his face?
I wish I knew.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
He's got to go see a dermatologist. Something fierce.
God damn. Yeah,
Like-
like shotgun pellets or something.
Something.
Buckshot. Yeah.
Like rolling down Rodeo.
Oh,
This is a baked potato. Is fucking baked.
That's the Voldemort face at the end of Harry Potter.
Got eyes, man.
First one. The potato
Oh.
does have eyes. That's yeah.
This fucking lady, hold on. This is the first time hitting the vape here.
First time.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Her dentures fell out. Oh, gotta get some Polydent, sweetheart. Oh my god, that's great.
Nice.
Oh, that's really funny.
I fucking love that one.
Holy shit, that's really funny. Oh, that
look at this fuckers.
Oh,
like,
that is mean.
what they put out.
Bro,
This is
okay.
what they put out for Halloween.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story, but my son is just turned 5. He's in pre-K, and they did a trunk or treat, and one of the families put flaming hot Cheetos in the fucking bag.
Yeah.
For a
yeah.
5-year-old.
Anyone notice the ghost pepper ranch sauce?
Oh,
in
I
there?
sure did.
Purpose.
Oh, I sure did. And they've got the, of
Ghost
course, they have
pepper.
the hot. They have the hot, but they don't have the fire sauce from Taco Bell. I'm very disappointed.
They got Diablo. They got
I don't know where
Diablo in there.
But that's not
It's underneath here.
Taco Bell. I don't know that's not Taco
Yeah, it
Bell.
is.
Oh, is it?
Oh, mm-hmm.
I've never heard
Yep.
of Diablo sauce.
We got hot.
Yeah, I never
It's like
heard
above fire. Here's your fire.
There's your fire.
This is for like the parents. The parents are like, "Oh yeah, Taco Bell stuff." You know,
Get one of those. Get one of those for daddy.
Get
That's
the
like-
ghost pepper one.
That's like grab the sprees. Grab the
Yeah, that ghost
sprees.
pepper one. Vicious, man.
Why hasn't anyone? What they need to do is like have a thing for the adults for Halloween, like little mini, like the mini bar bottles. You know, you
Right?
could get a couple of handful of like, you know, scotch. That'd be hilarious, dude. We made it to Dad Zone. We've made it there.
Yay!
You ready for Dad Zone?
Well, you got 2 dads here in the Dad Zone tonight. So
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That's like a Pornhub category. 2 dads.
2 dads, 1 single dude. 2 dads, 1 reef.
Tudo nessa vida pode acontecer.
Oh no! Oh no! How did that
Você tem
happen?
essa surpresa. Você tem essa
He's covered.
surpresa.
Oh, is that
Olha esse
plastic?
tinta. Olha
That's the
essa
paint.
criança.
Oh no!
Olha aqui, Helena. Olha aqui pra mamãe.
Elena.
Oh, meu Deus do céu, cabelo.
Oh, meu Deus.
Pode fazer isso, Helena?
This is Brazil, right?
No. Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not Brazil.
I mean,
Brazil's
but it's like
Portuguese.
weird Spanish.
That's somewhere in South America.
Yeah, there's lots of like.
Yeah,
Zhuz.
maybe Uruguay or Paraguay. Somewhere down there.
Yeah.
Argentina. Shout out to
Argentina.
Lucy. Shout out to Lucy, Blue
Yeah.
and Red Wine. Go give her a follow. Need some more followers.
Mejamo. Sounds Portuguese to me, but could be wrong. Wholesome Stupid. I love having all the Halloween kid ones.
Rick
I couldn't bring them
says
last week because they
Portuguese.
didn't exist. Portuguese? Yeah. But I figured. I know Brazil when I see it.
Gotta yell, trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Nice.
Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you. Goodbye.
That's like my kid.
I love you.
That's
Goodbye.
like my kid. My kid loves everybody who gives her candy. I'm in
I
deep
imagine
trouble.
Halloween in New York is fucking wild for kids, though.
I'm in deep
like,
trouble.
New York.
yeah.
Yeah, it really.
Everyone
teaches
I
you
know
to
in New York
not
takes
trust
that kids
adults.
out of New York.
Yeah.
for Halloween.
Yeah, seriously, you don't want to trick or treat in the city.
Yeah, they usually
Yeah.
don't. They take them out to Brooklyn, Queens.
Oh, I remember why this one's in here. All right, hold on.
I don't know about y'all.
But this ship.
Oh,
wanna
that's
see it again, hold
projectile.
on.
Nice
I
shot.
don't know about y'all.
I know how that
There's
is.
a lion and a tiger out there. But that's
But this ship.
But this shit.
I know that.
Yep.
Oh God.
We've had that done to us.
Oh yeah.
This one's fucking wild. Hold on. All right, he's recording and running on 1 foot.
I've been stung by a wasp. I've been stung by a wasp.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm dying. How does he was holding the camera and like his foot
Popping.
like,
Takes
what?
talent.
It really
takes
does.
talent, man.
Seriously, nice hand-eye. Oh,
Fortunately, Mom found out in time.
no.
Spit it out.
That's a no-no.
Spit it out.
Oh. It looks so yummy.
It's not good. Put your kids by your dog when it's eating, by the way.
It looks so yummy.
No, it's
Good
not.
idea.
But it's really good to
Yeah.
get them like crate trained early, though. You know,
I
you can get
never,
them crate trained early.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I never had a dog with the kids, so we didn't have to worry about that.
Okay.
In yards,
Yeah,
so.
it's like a rule. You don't put kids by dogs when they're eating.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, Carly.
fuck you, spider. Like,
Spider.
Take your shit.
I like how he fucking She got
Yeah.
two little GMPs in there, you know,
Yeah.
doing those hammer fists. This one's pretty good.
Who had the cake? The blue cake? Huh? Who did it? Who had it? You didn't have no blue cake?
No.
You didn't have no blue cake at all?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just fell out.
That's funny. You didn't have no blue cake? No. No, it was my brother. This one's gonna fucking murder. Hold on.
You want food? Okay, what kind of food do you want?
I don't want to tell you.
Okay, can I give you some options? Or at least tell me what kind of food you want. Can you do that, or do you want me to pick? Do you want me to pick?
Yeah.
Okay, can you at least tell me what kind of food you want? Mexican, Italian?
No.
Wait a minute.
No.
Well,
Just wants to
clearly,
eat.
like,
Feed the kid.
well, I would
Fed
hope.
that kid.
I only hope that that was set up there for a bit.
Yeah, it begins as early as 2 years old is the title.
Well,
Just being into, but honey, where do you want to go to eat? know?
Well, yes.
I don't know.
She is a woman that doesn't know, but she's not sitting in
Mhm.
a car seat, and she is sitting in the front seat, and she's a little small for the front seat.
No, dude, this is one of those new baby seats. They're like inflatable. When your baby flies out the window, it grabs them real quick, brings them back in.
No, it's Demolition Man. It's the Insta foam.
That's what it is. This one's adorable. And action. Eat ice cream. Oh, delicious ice cream. And I give him more ice cream. Oh, no more ice cream. Fuck. Like. Also, eyes unreal. It's like, don't put fake eyes on that baby. You know? Unsure if you want kids or not. My son told me he throws the grapes that look funny behind the couch, and I just found his secret pile of rotting fruit.
Uh-oh.
That's one of my nightmares. Seriously,
There you
I had
go.
to ban food in the living room because we were finding food on the floor all the time. 5
Yeah.
and twin 7-year-olds. It's like living in a fucking fraternity house. It's disgusting. There is shit stuck everywhere. There's literally like pieces of lollipop stuck to my floor permanently now.
Oh man.
This one's just titled, I can't fix his cracker. His cracker broke and he's upset.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
we've had those kind of meltdowns.
Yep.
Cracker.
Which is this one? Oh, this one's good. Play?
Did you make this?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It's a cracker sandwich.
I'm just looking.
Cracker sandwich.
Cheese.
It's cheese and what else?
Cracker and leaves.
Leaves from outside.
Yeah.
Leaves from outside.
Try it.
Not even lettuce. He literally just went out to
from
the trees
outside?
and grabbed some
Sounds a
leaves.
leaf.
That's
Love
great.
it.
Try it.
Love
It's
it.
inventive.
Fucking great. Oh.
Have either of you done this move before?
He's an excellent chef.
Just walked away from the tantrum.
Wait.
Cover her up. I don't have wood floors, but yes, I would totally do that.
I love it.
And their bedrooms are upstairs, but I've totally picked them up and carried them to bed for sure. By their ankles. Nice.
That was the best part. He's sitting there mopping.
God dang.
He's shaking in the powder as he's running, too.
He has a puzzbuster.
He came back. That was the best
I got
part.
one for you, Daddy.
This one's amazing.
Babies wear diapers, and I'm not a baby. And you're wearing a diaper? Well, babies wear diapers, and you're wearing a diaper. Well, I'm not a baby. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. I meant you're wearing a diaper. I'm not a baby. You're wearing
This is the whole argument, by the way.
I'm not a baby, though. Yes, you're wearing a diaper. Well, I'm not a baby.
Oh, welcome to Republicans versus Democrats, 2022.
Here we go.
Not even a baby, though.
This is a typical Twitter beef.
Twitter
You
beef?
can't say but. That's a bad word.
This is when the shit libs get mad at each other. They just have no substance. You know?
That's right. I had somebody yell at me today and insist Cenk Uygur was not behind Elizabeth Warren in 2020, and he really had endorsed Bernie, and he was not a Warren simp. Okay, you go with that. All I had to do was just literally like Google or do a search on Twitter, Cenk Warren. It literally took 3 seconds.
Yeah.
All right. This
Well, they
kid
say
tries
that
to scare the
China's
bird.
genociding the Uyghurs in
The Uyghurs,
in
that's
China.
right.
Well,
That's
we just send Jink.
the gray zone needs to be canceled for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
We're reporting on that.
What needs to be canceled? All of us.
Mhm.
All right. This
We're all
kid
getting
tries to
canceled.
scare the bird.
That sucks.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
fuck you, bird.
Does it though? Does it though?
Well,
we can get this pillows now for all babies.
oh my god.
Just have that little angry thwomp. Like I just want this picture though. This is the only picture I would use. Would just be the the last one. What else I got? Oh, this one's good.
More Halloween stuff. Oh, I love Halloween stuff.
Yep.
Oh, it's Poppy from the Trolls. Oh. Oh. Did she just face plant?
Yeah,
Yeah, but fear overcame pain. She was up and running.
Yeah.
Like,
holy
you know,
shit, that was hard.
Oh. So this one's just called Bodega Cat Attacking Dogs. This is in Harlem. Look at that fucking cat. Fuck you. Fuck your dogs. He runs at him.
Oh yeah, I had a cat like that back in the day.
Nice. I love Bodega Cats.
Oh, fuck you up, Yorkies. This is my neighborhood.
Yo, rat dogs.
I love how this other just random Harlem guy, his like, cat, you listen to me, move.
Chill.
I've got authority here.
This cat is gangster. Hey, what's your name, bro? What's your name?
Is that Donnell Rawlings?
Yeah, that's a
I hope so.
cat, though.
That's a gangster cat,
I'm
bro.
rich, biatch.
Oh, I got this for Crab.
Dun, dun, dun,
Is
dun,
this
dun,
right
dun,
here?
dun, 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 dun. Is that the crab march?
Yeah.
They could use them up
It
in
very much
Alaska
is.
right now. I know you did that story,
Had-
right?
Crabs.
What? Crab people. Crab people. Crab.
Nice.
From South Park.
Crab people.
This is in Russia. In Russia, cat
In
go
Russia?
to sauna with you.
Мурзик, Мурзик, айда, айда, баня готова. Взял веник. Это, сдвигаем. Можно начинать париться. Сейчас я поддам, а ты пока готовься. Уши прижимай. Ты там как-нибудь маякни, когда на другой бок. Давай хвост, давай живот попарим. О!
It's like the
Oh.
Все,
Kobe
хорош
beef
парень,
of
давай уже в
cats.
снег. Пойдем.
Cat
Давай,
kitty.
молодец. О! Хорош. Все, бежим. Бежим. Мурзик, заходи, забегай. Пойдем сразу в парилочку.
Okay, by the heater.
Забегай в
Right,
парилку
right to the
быстрее.
heater.
No, back in the
Чего
sauna.
батареи? Кто будет?
Yeah, I like it in here.
Oh, you gotta,
It's
gotta air
nice.
that shit out.
Дай 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Andre.
You like went out and did the snow thing. It was great.
That's great.
It's Russian misinfo, man.
In Russia. Yeah,
Dude,
that's
this
Russian
is-
disinformation. That's right.
Information.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
Putin's cat.
It's Putin. It's full.
Oh, look at that. Oh, oh,
He
poor
fell.
kitty.
He forgot he had like all Kevin Hart legs. You know,
Lands on his feet at least, right? All cats land on their feet.
you would think. This one does a little better.
Oh. What the? What is he
Fuck
here?
you, Walt. Fuck you.
What the?
Parkour.
Oh, there's somebody watching. Uh-oh.
He's attacking the gremlins.
You hear something in the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, it's probably a
Damn,
mouse in
dude.
there or some shit.
It's like doing extreme skateboarding.
He's doing it a 540 McTwist.
It's like Shawn White, Andy Mack.
Yeah. Oh, the 900. Why does she do this? Just
Come on down.
I guess it's not a she.
Jesus.
That's awesome. I've never seen anyone run down and slide down on their front like that before.
The way he just fell. Is it gonna
See if that
do
thing's
it?
nuts?
What?
Uh-oh.
No, 404.
You got the
You gotta
404.
whitelist your ad blocker.
Not the 404.
The dreaded 404.
I just pulled this like an hour ago.
We got lots of kitty videos today.
Yep.
Funny timeline cleanse kitty video. Oh.
Good job.
That poor cat.
I'm traumatized.
Into shock.
Oh my
That'd be my reaction too.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yes, I've
this
seen
shit.
all over the place.
Have you?
Yeah,
Like-
this is all over.
Like, what the fuck?
It can always turn around.
Like, what?
Oh, I saw this. Yeah. Some kind
So
of
this
gambling
is- this is
addiction
at a-
thing.
This is at
Yeah.
a Democratic polling location. And they're just voting for Biden.
This is
Biden,
ES&S
Biden, Biden,
headquarters.
Biden.
ES&S headquarters.
Yeah. Oh God. I forgot this one was here.
I'm writing in response to your request for additional information in Block 3 of the accident report form.
I put poor planning as the cause of my accident. You asked for a fuller explanation, and so I trust the following details will be sufficient. I'm a bricklayer by trade. On the day of the accident, I was working alone on the roof of a new 6-story building. When I completed my work, I found that I had some bricks left over, which, when weighed later, were found to be slightly in excess of 250 kilos. Rather than carry the bricks down by hand, I decided to lower them in a barrel using a pulley, which was attached to the side of the building on the 6th floor.
Ruh-roh.
Securing the rope at ground level, I went up to the roof, swung the barrel out, and completely loaded it with bricks. Then I went down to the ground floor and untied the rope, holding it tightly to ensure a slow descent of the bricks.
He went
You'll
up
note
high.
in block 11 of the accident report form that I weighed 70 kilos. Due to my surprise at being jerked off the ground so suddenly, I lost my presence of mind and forgot to let go of the rope. Needless to say, I proceeded at a rapid rate of knots up the side of the building. In the vicinity of the 3rd floor, I met the barrel, which was now proceeding downwards at an equally impressive speed. This explained the fractured skull, minor abrasions, and the broken collarbone, as listed in section 3 of the accident report form.
I'm sorry to laugh.
Slowed only slightly, I continued my rapid ascent, not stopping until the fingers of my right hand were 2 knuckles deep into the pulley.
Oh,
Fortunately, by this time, I'd regained some presence of mind and I was able to hold on tightly to the rope in spite of beginning to experience pain because my knuckles were in the pulley. At approximately the same time, however, the barrel of bricks hit the ground and the bottom of the barrel fell out. Now devoid of the weight of bricks, the barrel weighed approximately 20 kg. I refer to you again to my weight, 70 kg.
Oh, no.
As you can imagine, I began a rapid descent down the side of the building.
6 stories.
In the vicinity of the 3rd floor, I met the barrel coming up. This accounts for the 2 fractured ankles, broken tooth, and several lacerations on my legs and lower body. Here my luck began to change slightly. The encounter with the barrel seemed to slow me enough to lessen my injuries when I fell into a pile of bricks. Fortunately, only 3 vertebrae were cracked. I am sorry to report, however, as I lay there on the pile of bricks, in pain, unable to move, I again lost my composure and presence of mind and let go of the rope.
Oh no! It dropped on him again.
Oh no.
And lay there watching the empty barrel begin its journey back down towards me and then eventually on top of me. And this explains the 2 broken legs. I hope this answers your inquiry.
Send a mutual aid, please.
Oh, damn. That's some bad luck. Holy
dude.
Oh, I'm in tears. Holy shit, that's the winner of the night.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Yeah. That's a good breakdown. I really like that.
I love referring to the pages in the accident report.
Yeah, that's really good.
God.
He was giving you kind of bones broken. Medical terms. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, who told this fucking sheriff's office this was a fucking good move?
Yeah.
Who fucking did that?
Yeah.
I can't see anything out these fucking masks. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
holy shit.
Yeah, I saw it. I was complaining about it.
Oh, God.
Good move.
These fucking idiots. Anyway.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
No, no glass. No glasses.
Oh, very confidently.
Oh,
I love how none of you knew either. She's like, why'd she walk it up like that?
Yeah, she looked like she was gonna throw down. I thought she was gonna beat her up or something.
No glasses.
Wow.
Oh, she definitely looked like she was gonna start some shit with that girl.
Yeah, she looked like she was gonna throw down. What was that?
So this is my new PC. Just this right here. I just a lot of airflow.
It's missing. It's missing some pieces.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not very good on
this. Is supposed to be in the animal videos. Why did it get out of order?
Bumpers. I'm gonna get you.
La vi con otra paloma. Me voy a matar. Me voy a matar. Este es mi último. Uy. Me voy a matar. Uy.
Oh, no, fucking going over here, son.
The fuck?
Fuck you. I'm gone, son.
All right, just say goodbye and walk away. They'll follow you. Trust me.
I know. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, shit, I'm out of here. Oh, he got a couple good laps in. You know?
That was
They're
like in the
still
dog
going.
training video, right? The woman's like, just run away and the dog will chase you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that. You just walk away, and then he's like, "All right, I guess
have to run. You gotta run away, and they'll run after you.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I think you're playing.
What do you do? What do you do here though? When monkey get you, monkey.
Yeah, those monkeys are a little joke.
Oh,
nice.
Come on, the music is great.
The DDT from the top rope.
Nice. I like seeing
Hey,
that.
we're gonna have to take that. You
Alpha
realize that
Doom.
YouTube's never gonna allow
That for
that.
just for that. Well, this might get us.
That's really funny. We said no standing.
Just, ooh.
That's really funny.
No standing.
On the track.
Oh, I mean that sucks. The Hoover. What do you do? You're on the subway. You meet this guy. What do you do?
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. What is this outfit though?
Wow.
What is this?
He's going to the
This
village.
feels like
You see his
Mr.
people?
Clean got a very interesting role change. That's
No, it's-
what.
Yeah.
It's Halloween and he's going as one of the village people.
Is that like a pilot
Gotcha.
hat or something?
I guess.
Leather pilot, a
That's
leather
New York.
pilot's
That's
hat.
a New York subway, right?
That was the
I
leather
guess.
pilot's hat.
Yeah. And the
Popeye. E.
boots.
Heller says Popeye.
Got the boots. Popeye. Invite him to your sex dungeon. Oh, dude, this is why an average male joke. This is why women live longer.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That was gonna eat him.
Oh my god. He was hungry.
Yeah, he
And
threw
he's
it out like it's a
laughing.
piece.
Dude laughing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What?
That was a nice thing to do. Just throw it
Right?
into a lion.
Throw a little
Very
person
friendly.
into a
It's a good
lion.
friend.
Yeah.
Friendships.
This is what happens if you didn't throw him on time, though.
Oh.
Whee!
You're supposed to let go.
It's like when Thor's drunk, you know. This is just brought because it's always nice to fuck over like a security for some reason. So a lady didn't pay for the ticket, and she's like being chased by security. Like if you see that lady up there.
C'est Pac-Man!
Oh, there he goes. Like what game?
Descends, descends!
Yeah, you gotta go up now.
Yeah, cross. He's tired.
Corner, he's got cornered.
Elle a trop attendu!
Sat down.
Drawman.
start running, and I'm gone. Yeah, you just brought him in. That's the bigger show than the soccer game.
It's more exciting than the game. It's over. Safe.
Nice. That's great.
Oh, man, I wish that could be going like to happen every game I go to.
Every game, you just want that.
Game.
Like,
Hell
I would
yeah.
love to see that.
That's great.
oh, this one. Oh, he seems safe. Like, watch the fucking rope.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh snap.
The dinosaur
at the end.
By the way,
It's like
Dinosaurs
hire
was
some shit.
shout out to Dinosaurs, the most real show ever. Yeah, that was not really hooked up to him. He would have
Nope.
totally died if he had gone.
So high wind plus gigantic Christmas bauble.
Al sent us this. Boom.
That's an amazing idea.
That was awesome.
Like, I just love the way it seems fake. It seems like a fake, like that.
Oh, it's literally
Like, but
just
that
wrapped in
cloth sim
tinfoil.
is so good. Yeah, like, like ridiculousness. We know this guy. You know that guy?
Who's that guy?
You know this guy right here? Was a press
Army
secretary
major.
at one point.
Okay, one last question. An Army major was reportedly drugged and bitten by strippers in Poland. Will that affect the U.S. military's footprint in that country?
Look at that face.
Story. It is a major story, and it happened in Gdansk.
Jeff, I don't know anything about that story. I'll have a look at it. I'm not going to take that question, but
please take that.
Jeff, no, Jeff. Just let me state clearly: we have a strong military relationship with Poland, and we expect to see that continue to grow and to improve. But I don't know anything about this particular item.
I did not see that happening at all. What? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Poland's got no Nazis.
No.
I'm sure Poland has no choice that we have a military presence in Poland.
I'll take shit white people do for 1,000, Alex.
God.
Jump into a barbed wire trampoline.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. And welcome to This Shit's
Jackass.
Dumb.
Welcome, I'm the idiot.
Say post it.
This episode of Doing Stupid Things.
Oh my god.
3, 2, 1.
Only in the south. Oh.
Why?
Look at everybody with the cameras. I want to see the other footage.
That hair. I knew that was gonna. Dude, Schwack always talks
I knew
about
that
how
was
his
gonna
hair
happen.
was the worst.
Oh my God.
I knew it would be bad. I did not think it would be this bad.
This happened last time, he says. The fuck?
Next up, Bob with pig's feet.
That is exactly what
All right.
Like, and then.
Uh-oh.
Wee!
Oh, that is serious injury. Wow, that thing really rolled. Holy shit.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, that would scare the crap out of me too.
So do you know Houston Jones?
No.
You know who Houston Jones is? He does a series of these kinds of videos.
Sounds
I think
like a
recently,
male porn star.
Yes. He recently did a thing with a cactus cannon that fired cactus at him.
100
but
pounds of resistance bands here.
Looks like he just did that.
Oh my god.
Don't.
Why? Look at his back. Look how red it is.
why? I know, dude.
Oh, that was already red.
Yeah.
Resistance bands are fun.
Uh-oh.
Oh, like here, I'll zoom in for the people who couldn't see. There we go. See that resistance band?
Rot.
Oh, that sucks. The
was an
comments
attempt.
called this a flap slap, a clam slam.
Clam slam.
Yep.
Oh god.
Oh god. We're almost done.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Whee! I just love that he missed the first car. You know?
Drifted, right?
Ai, Jesus.
We're back in Brazil.
You ever see the one where like the car like misses, but like almost misses his exit, and it goes from like the left lane into the exit, and it causes like all these like freaking pile up, and it just gets off the exit. I'm like, oh my god, man.
Kind of like this.
Hot dang, man, that's crazy.
Hey man, that's behind me.
That's some serious skateboarding there.
Has bombed that hill, and he ran it out. This is the greatest game ever designed.
Damn.
Oh, this is gonna be like super fun, whatever, some kind of Japanese TV.
Oh, they can do game shows, man.
Japan does know how to do game shows.
This is great. I love this. Like they're really trying.
Imagine if we played basketball on this. You know?
Dude, he's not even getting to the. So that's going. Whoa! Split! Oh! All the other dudes laughing at them. Getting better. He's got it down. Bring yourself down hard. Uh-oh, this is gonna hurt. I knew that was coming.
He's pissed.
Oh,
no, that one you gotta go soft, bro. I figured out your technique. Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
God,
that's a pretty good idea there.
You guys are gonna feel this one. So I know the Muay Thai guys work up to doing this.
进来的棒球棍已经到了啊，让我们测试一下质量。
He's done. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he broke his leg.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's broken.
Look at the limp.
Oh yeah,
the
it's
limp
good.
walk at the end.
Oh yeah, that shit's.
You want me to break my leg?
He didn't.
Oh,
he
yeah,
didn't
it's
quite
broken
get the
real
chi down to that leg.
And that
you know
that was with a bang, by the way. I know we're not done, but that was certainly a bang.
That was.
He was kicking it like this, like this. Sorry, my kickboxer thing.
I know, right, dude? That's like when Anderson Silva broke his leg.
Oh yeah,
you know
rough.
That was rough.
Come on.
That was rough.
And
And
69 online, really? Come on, dude. What is with this?
I mean, 69 is nice.
How are they
Like
have it on sub only.
Like, dude,
Hey, now.
buy a lottery ticket. Like,
Seriously.
You got lucky. This guy though.
That's what you get. I ain't feel bad.
That's what you get. That's what you get. That's you. Here's your sign. We got a Halloween one.
Uh-oh. Oh, doink. Oh, I knew that was coming.
Don't do
it. The down goes the Doughboy. Down goes Doughboy.
Hardcore parkour?
I love that. You know I love me some parkour.
Oh.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go! Let's go, let's go!
Who's gonna mess it up? What?
Oh.
People are nuts.
Kong jump.
Running on the side of the wall. Onto the cart. Nice. Dude. Aces.
That's great.
I was really waiting for somebody to hurt themselves, but damn, bro.
Yeah.
Me too.
Impressive. Impressive. Human Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, that's right.
Cat like reflexes.
Dude. He's like, oh, I'm not dead. I feel like this is like the final boss.
That does not
look
natural. Yeah.
No, it does not.
Like,
It looks
Look,
Photoshop.
it's the
Like, it
NATO
needs-
star.
Right? It needs like a red line above its head with like what it's called,
Yeah.
ballet star.
Where's
monster.
the hand and where's the foot? Okay, so the hands are
Here and here,
okay.
and then leg and leg.
Wow. You are a perfect diamond, lady.
This guy is a perfect diamond as well, a real gem.
Oh shit! Bro, watch this man! Put your head down, nigga!
Oh man.
Oh! Oh! That's gonna hurt in the morning.
He's okay.
Okay.
He's all right.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
He's
That
okay.
might get us blurred out on Facebook.
He's okay, but he's okay though. He's okay.
Yeah.
I found that on Facebook.
That guy's in Jersey. El Nagy is in Jersey. I know that
Ace Hardware.
What the hell did you jump out for?
He pressed triangle, bro. He pressed triangle, man. He didn't mean to press triangle.
I think there was somebody in the front seat that scared the shit out of him. Went, hey, how you doing?
Hold on. Where's the I had to find it on the soundboard. What? Oh, here it is. All right. Back it up. That's the noise we need. The GTA wasted effect? What?
Yes.
Jesus. All right, I think we're at we're at almost bangs. We're close enough. This is an almost one. You ready to do the way we end things?
The guy that could be seen in this video's family has recently been attacked by this hornet's nest on his property, so he decided to take matters into his own hands.
Is that crab?
Instead of calling the exterminators, he decided to pull out his homemade flamethrower and just completely burn and destroy this hornet's nest. He did, although, have someone on standby just in case things went south and the tree ended up setting on fire, but thankfully it didn't.
What did he have? Smokey the
guy
Bear?
did this because the hornets mess with his family, and this is what the hornet's nest looked like after he destroyed it with the flamethrower, and I would not mess with this guy's family, or else you may get this flamethrower to the face.
Yeah, the problem is what happened to the hornets that he didn't get? Now
Right.
he's got a whole bunch of homeless killer hornets after him.
The hornets, the revenge hornets. We all know hornets.
Murder hornets.
The most
murder hornets.
revengeful animal.
We know all about the murder hornets.
It came back. It came
I want
back.
to see. Wait. Go back. I want to see that again. I need to see that again.
Okay. Yes, sir. That's pretty fucking good. Oh.
I just love hearing the scrambling. Fuck. Oh.
The Geltas.
He's gonna walk back up to it and boom.
Nick.
Yeah. Some against air.
Was he said?
I think it went out, man. I think it went out.
Whoa!
No, it didn't go out.
Get leck me out.
Oh. That
This
was
is what your tax dollars do. What?
that was the wheelbarrow. I thought that was a person that fell at the end.
No.
That was the wheelbarrow.
Yep.
حسب
Hey!
Don't look
Father
into
push.
it. No, don't do it.
Oh.
Well, that's it, everybody.
Hospital visits. Hospital visits for all who can afford it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back and unpin Mr. Reefer over here. Hey, and we're back. Infrastructure. That's right, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, you know he did. He was definitely had a bad day. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
This was good.
That was a good one, man.
It was. Next week, I am actually going to be on a business trip, so I'm going to set up a best of, and we'll run a clip show, and I'll figure out what the theme is, and we'll pull in some of the clips for episode 59 of How Did We Miss That? We'll be back in 2 weeks, the week before Thanksgiving. And the day before that, actually, we're talking about on the 19th, the anniversary extravaganza. However, we're going to do that, celebrating the first year of Indie News Network. And we're figuring out exactly how we're going to feature different shows. We may interview INN members talking about how these shows came together. There's a lot of different conversations happening over exactly what that's going to look like. But stay tuned for sure. We're also going to talk about INN members that have appeared on other shows and other networks and other channels and bring some of that into the fold. We're going to talk about some of the things that we've done as far as like the student debt boycott marathon that we did back last year. And we're going to do like a past, present, future, what to expect from the network. We're going to do some of the live shows. I think Reef and Colin are talking about doing INN News Live. We'll probably pull in a couple of American tradition things with Jesse from some of the best episodes there. We're just still trying to, again, figure out exactly what that's going to look like. We want to try to include as many of the members as possible. There will be a live stream, probably starting at 10 p.m. on Saturday night on the 19th. That will be open to all the members as a round table. And then we'll go into Reefer After Dark / boats, smashing into other boats at the end, and we'll close that out. And then at 12:15, I'm guessing Warren will probably take over and do a secret show Saturday night. So, Chris, again, thank you so much for coming. Everybody go follow Chris's new Twitter. What's your new Twitter account?
Right now it's you can just type up Chris Legion, but it's Ruthless Review, Ruthless underscore review.
You're right,
And,
Ruthless underscore
and I'm-
review.
Yeah, I still have my old Twitter account, so you can also catch me on there, Legion Socialist. And yeah.
Make sure you update your link
That's where you
tree
find me.
too.
Also, yeah, go into to Substack though. That's where I'm gonna be doing much more articles. That's gonna be a big thing, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of Substack. So as I wind down on Twitter,
We love the Substack.
So they uncensor me. So go to Substack.
Go check us out on Substack. Indie Media Today, indiemedia.today or indiemediatoday.com is our Substack. We summarize the top 6 videos on just about a daily basis, plus live stream alerts. It's also the home of the Friends of Indie Left podcast. So if you click on the podcast tab, you'll see 12 of the 13 episodes that we've had for the podcast so far. And now they have this new thing. I don't know if you've got an iPhone, Chris, but there's actually a chat app on the iPhone version of Substack, and they're working on an Android chat version as well.
Yeah.
They're trying to take over and trying to take a part of Twitter where like you can share a link and then have a bunch of people comment on it. It's almost like I feel like in Telegram there's a similar thing, and each one is its own kind of threaded conversation. I've started doing it. So if you go to Indie Media Today and you look at the chat tab, if you're subscribed to our Substack, you'll see the chat tab on your app, and you'll actually be able to see some of the things I posted. Like yesterday, I kind of posted just an update. Here are some of the things that we've been up to. And today I posted like an image. Here's the top 6 that we had yesterday, and you can go find it at this Substack there. There's a lot of cool stuff happening over there. And more people are getting on a Substack. Mastodon, you see, who knows what's happening with Elon, Twitter. But yeah, stay tuned. This week, we're going to have tomorrow night, Extra Booyah, the return of Extra Booyah, first show since July. Uncle Warren's going to have INN member Colin, INN News co-host Colin Radix Carter, and he's going to talk about education and networks, INN, who knows what else they're going to talk about. Tuesday night, we've got American Tradition. Jesse Jett has just finished his new album, The Co-opt, and it will be released on Election Day. And election night, we are doing American Tradition 10 o'clock. So all the rigging there, we're going to rig our show too. We're going to go through the Co-opt album, and it's going to be a listening party. And then Tuesday night also, Reef and Colin are scheduled to take a visit over at our friends over at Do Dissidents, Keaton and Russ. And then Wednesday night, Keaton and Russ are going to join Reef and Colin over for INN News.
Yes, sir.
And then Friday night, Saturday night, secret show next week. Sunday night will be a best of for How Do We Miss That? So that's the upcoming week. Chris may be doing some stuff on the network. Lucy has been going live more often. Big Mad Crab, shout out to Big Mad Crab for going live this week and doing the list that made all of Shitlib Twitter melt down. It was great to see everybody's reactions. Hilarious.
Yes. They always come out when we do those things.
They managed to find us, but it got responses from like Emma Vigland, and it got several pretty.
I heard the Vanguard was going to react to Jesse Jett's spoken word.
Well, we'll see if that happens.
I can't wait for that.
Crab and Jesse are begging them to do it. They're double dog daring them to do it. So
yes, their divine intellect, they will do an amazing show.
Yeah. So thank you, Reef, for not putting up the timer for my pitch fest tonight. So for worries. And for tonight, I'm going to over 9,000. Nice, thank you. So I'm gonna again say to keep questioning everybody's motivations and thank everybody for coming tonight. And we'll see you next week. And download the podcast. All right, everybody.
Don't vote Democrat.
Keep listening to what little birds have to tell you.
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry. My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually say?